the fullback with the first and goal. Kuhn gets the ball. Pyle driving his way in for the touchdown. What a great second effort. Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the here comes the here comes the y'all don't really want it now. I said so. I keep big bills up in my heart on the dirty like blood. So I got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful.
Wolf Pack, what's going on? It's your boy, the Wolf of Roto Street, RotoStreetJournal.com. We breed and feed you fantasy wolves here with your Week 9 sit-start tailgate. I cannot believe it. We are already at that midway point of this season. Let's get it, Wolf Pack. Of course, I will be joined as always by CJay. He's having some tech difficulties. He's on a Mac and for some reason can't figure out how to handle the best computer that's out there. So he has like a yellow screen or some weird shit popping up right now. We'll see him at some point. But until then, your boy will be here covering through all the news as we get in. As you come in, that thumbs up button does help us get out to more people. Would mean the world if you consider giving that over to us and helping us grow and continue to have the pack. I'll run through the news as we always do, but get your questions on in. There's a lot of interesting stuff. That's why I know some of you guys just want to get your questions in, but listen to the news first because I might give you something new to reconsider. Certainly right here at the top. Well, I think we got him now. CJay, are you there? Is that?
I'm in.
I see your face. Can you hear me?
Yes. I'm finally in. Fucking.
How you doing, brother?
Dude, I can't do Max. It was a rough night. Now I'm in. We're ready to go. there's
Yes. I'm coming off a long one myself. It was Anthony Nardella's wedding last night. And if you know anything about the Wolf, the one thing I love more than fantasy football is love itself. So it was beautiful, beautiful celebration. We had a blast there. Awesome time. Certainly a little bit of a corpse today, but we'll get there. We'll get there for sure. I got
my fake Starbucks coffee. I'm ready to go.
Nice. I love it. I got some Bagel World. That's like the ultimate hangover cure. Just eat a fat Bagel World sandwich.
It can't be matched anywhere else in the world. I'll tell you that much.
It's the best. But right when we're going live, this one broke, which is going to change a lot of things, to be honest. And that's Tua getting ruled out. Did you see this one yet, CJay? Tua being ruled out literally as we went live.
Yeah, he's the biggest pussy going.
I know.
Hey, how about the Aaron Rodgers article I wrote? Mike White, awful. Tua, dead.
Tyrod's our boy. That's Taysom Hill, no longer worth playing.
Taysom, useless. It's just Tyrod. That's it.
Yeah, it's bad. And that's what we're going to get at. So if you're planning to stream Tua as an Aaron Rodgers replacement, or just because he's a top 10 quarterback for me coming into this week, Houston's that bad. He is now out. Brissett, I'm tossing into the rankings. He's going to end up, just because the matchup is so juicy and it's a pretty bad week for quarterbacks in general, I think Brissett's going to end up right outside my top 20. I have him. So, just for context, Trevor Simeon's my quarterback 20. So Brissett's going to take that spot over. It's a bad week at QB, folks. Mac Jones just ahead of him, though, if you're looking for a streamer. He's out there in a lot of leagues. I know Kyler Murray's kind of screwing a lot of people over. My first option, I would say, is, as we were talking about, Tyrod Taylor on the other side of that rock. He's now my QB 10 for the week. This is nuts. Tyrod Taylor is that high. But ultimately, the one game he played, he had 24. He had 17 in the first half. So this guy can get it done. And the matchup against Miami, they've given up the most points across the last 5 weeks, third most on the season. I love Tyrod Taylor as a streamer, but you could go to Brissett. The other option, I don't know. I'm sure you put this guy in your article, CJay, but Jordan Love, right? The 1-to-1 replacement for Rodgers. Was he included in there?
He was. Where do you have him ranked?
I have him ahead of Brissett. I'll put it that way. I have him at QB 14. So I would have and I should have had Wentz ahead of him, but ultimately Wentz got locked in on Thursday night. If he would have been the perfect streamer, but he's locked in. I think Taylor I would prefer, but Jordan Love has even higher ceiling. I mean, this could be it reminds me so much of the situation where Favre missed a game. Love and Rodgers came in through 4 touchdowns.
Even those Matt Flynn days, or Matt Flynn would come in for a game.
Exactly.
Right,
exactly. So I'm relying on it as a Rodgers, where I have Rodgers owned and I have Adams. I just figured stack them the hell up and we'll see what happens. So let us know if you got QB issues. Tua certainly not helping that out. I know our guy Seamus was planning on streaming him. So that was some big breaking news as we went in. The other reason you might have quarterback concerns is Kyler Murray. Coming down to a game time decision. What sucks is this one's at 4:20. So ultimately you probably have to make your choice ahead of time. There's not a ton of guys at the 4 p.m. slate that would be out there in leagues as streaming options. Brissett, again, would be like a 1 p.m. Jordan Love is out there in a lot of leagues. He could be a nice bridge if you want to see what happens with Kyler. I would caution even playing Kyler, though. When he's not at full health, he doesn't run around, and that's so much of his value.
It doesn't seem like either of them are playing at all. From like what I've seen in tweets, it seems like they're like very like doubtful, basically. They're traveling, but I don't think they're playing.
I don't either. They keep reiterating how the team's going to be safe with both and prioritize the long term. All the tea leaves suggest neither of these guys are in. So I would, if you have a good option that plays at 1, I would just roll them out. A lot of people ask, Derek Carr or Kyler. Just go Derek Carr. He's got a good matchup against the Giants. He's thrown for 302 straight and 6 of like the 7 games this year. I mean, the guy is balling. I would just go something nice and safe like that. I'd go Tyrod Taylor at 1 o'clock. Just get it in, get your quarterback, and don't worry about this. I think that game, even if Kyler plays, is going to be ugly. Some other news with that game, though, there's a ton of 49ers news. Let's cover this stuff first, the fringe things. Deebo Samuel is questionable. He's expected to go was the latest, but they're saying they're not sure how long he's going to end up playing for, which that's obnoxious. They had the same exact report on Eli Mitchell as well. He's a game-time decision, but he's likely to be active. But similar to Deebo Samuel, we don't know how long he's going to play, was the report. That sucks. That's annoying. And you guys know I'm a diehard Jeff Wilson guy. So I'm thinking this could be immediately walks into 10, 12 carries, 15 potentially if Mitchell sucks or can't really play. And I think he's got a great shot at the end zone. Am I nuts about Jeff Wilson? What do you think, CJ? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like you're just kind of you're talking it into existence once again.
Probably.
I think because you stashed him everywhere and you're just like ready for him to be everyone and for the 49ers in like the juiciest backfield of all time.
Always is.
I can see your point, and shenanigans, you never know. So I mean, I kind of feel fucked in like my position where I do own Elijah Mitchell in a lot of leagues. So
yeah. And I think you got to roll him out. I mean, he's got an 81% of the carries in all the games he plays. So it's tough to bench him, but I did bump him. I had him at like running back 10. I had to bump him down like 7 or 8 spots just because there is the worry that Jeff Wilson could end up just immediately walking in and like they just see what they have with him going. The running back coach was raving about him. Because again, I'm obsessed with Jeff Wilson. I've been reading like every article that came out on it, and they're calling him like an injection to the shoulder where he just fires up the whole offense, and even the special teams and defense love seeing this guy back there. And they're just talking about him with like the most glowing reviews you could possibly say. So I wouldn't be shocked if he does get a decent, healthy workload. So I went from RB11 with Mitchell. He's now down to like 18. I would go Edmonds in like the same game over Mitchell at this point. Yeah. Maybe over Myles Gaskin. I know Brissett starting, so that might lean on him a bit more. Like Mitchell versus Zach Moss against the Jags. Now that's kind of where I probably draw the line. I'd go Eli Mitchell. But if you want to rest him, it is worrisome them talking about him being on like a short leash today. I don't know like how long they're going to play him. I don't know. Sketchy situation, just something to be aware of. Either way, even if you don't play Jeff Wilson today, I do think at only 30% rostered, go out there, go get the guy, see what he does. Because if Eli gets banged up, we've seen him in the fantasy championships last year. This is why I love him. He got 3 touchdowns. He won me a league. Like those are the type of players you remember forever. And he has that upside. He did it against our Patriots. Like he has these random 2-3 touchdown days. Wouldn't be shocked if today's one of them. Just walks right into he's only 4K on DraftKings too. I tossed him in there as a psycho. Him and Rex Burke had my Hail Mary running backs there. But let us know. Go look for Jeff Wilson. You're also checking in on, and I don't know if there's been official word yet, but Christian McCaffrey, he was activated from the IR, probably going to play, but they did say they're going to monitor him in the pregame. Have you seen anything new on that yet, CJ?
No, I was just looking, but I think that was the most recent report.
Yeah, they do think that it did come out. Darnold is likely to play unless he has a setback as well. So we'll keep that up. As you guys likely know, I mean, I'm sure you know, OBJ has been released. He won't clear waivers till tomorrow, or claims can't be put in till tomorrow anyways. So we'll see where he lands. A lot of rumblings he might go to the Patriots, just given they face the Browns next week.
A lot of like 98.5 buzz that it's like down to the Patriots, and that's it. That's where he wants to be. So
I would love that. I mean, I know a lot of people are like, don't let him come near Mac Jones, don't let him corrupt it. If he wants to be here, that means he wants to be like disciplined and have Belichick. Hopefully, at least we'll see. I certainly, as a Patriots fan, wouldn't hate to see it at all. Worst case, we just cut him and whatever. So OBJ, intriguing. There's also rumblings, Green Bay. That would be an awesome spot. Him and Adams for Rodgers down the stretch. That would be pretty scary.
Green Bay is just front office, though. They never make a move. Like
yeah,
they
never do.
Green Bay, but they just don't do anything.
Yeah. The other big one, CJ, was the Raiders too. That would be almost a perfect fit now that there's been the opening there for wide receivers.
Even the Chiefs across from Tyreek Hill would be perfect.
Oh yeah, that would be crazy. Some speed across him. Yeah. So, but obviously, it'll be a very intriguing thing to monitor. I do want to point out, and I bumped Jarvis Landry up big time in the rankings. He went from averaging through his career with OBJ. He averages 9 PPR points with OBJ in the lineup, 15 points with him out there. So, I mean, obviously, it makes sense that Baker. I feel like Baker's like weirdly way better.
Baker's way better than him too.
I know. So they're both like significantly better. I don't know. The Landry thing makes sense. It's more targets. It's one other guy that's off there to feed. Baker, you released, one of the better receivers off the team, and for some reason he's better. I don't know. It's like head games. They say he's all in Baker's head, and he probably was. I mean, his dad making videos of the all the missed throws and whatnot. So I think you get a better Baker out there. You get a better Landry. I wouldn't be surprised to see that Cincy and Browns game be an intriguing one today. I'm looking forward to that. Dak off the injury report, obviously, is in your lineups. That's good news again for the weapons cabinet, which as of this writing, they were both expected CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper to play, but they were also game time decisions tested out, and let's see what happens. But they both are expected to suit up. So we'll be tracking that in case anything comes up. One of the QB streamers we recommended all week, this one blows. Taysom Hill's not going to be starting. It's going to be Simeon. So, yeah, let's play Taysom Hill like $20 million to not play ahead of Trevor Simeon. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But it would have been a great stream.
You're QB9 when I wrote the article.
Yep, exactly. He was. He's top 10. Because he was the QB6 across his 4 starts last year. Atlanta, he had 28 and 27. I can make the argument for a guy that's not even starting right now. So we won't bother with that. Too bad, though. I was planning to stream him everywhere. Tua was my fallback plan. Now he's out. So Tyrod Taylor, next man up as the best starter. He is not Dolphin starter, the Texan starter. That's a bad banner there by myself. But no, he's the Texan starter. He's a good play today. My QB, it was QB 13 at the time. Now that these guys continue to drop like flies, he's up to my QB 10 at this point. Latavius Murray's out. So Devonta Freeman, he could be your desperation play. I would like to look elsewhere. I'd much rather have AP, who looks impressive. The Titans are, quote unquote, not going to jerk the wheel from their offense now that they have no Derrick Henry. So they are going to at least try to feed the guy. I wouldn't be shocked at all, even if he's a corpse at this point, that he finds the end zone, has like 20 carries and gets like 50 yards in a touchdown. Who knows? What are your thoughts on AP's return?
I mean, I'm not a AP guy at all. Like, I think he sucks, but yeah. It's the perfect role though for him. And he actually, like, as I kind of dove into it a little bit this week, he was excellent the last like 3 years, which like kind of blew my mind how good he was. I thought he's been a corpse for the last 7 years, but then I look back in the last 3 and I'm like, oh, he actually was pretty serviceable for like shitty teams. And now he's in like a really good team, good offensive line, great scheme. And I can definitely see him being like a solid RB2 rest of the way if he gets the touches.
I agree 100%. I wouldn't be shocked at all to see a lot of people thinking it's McNichols' role, the younger, more spread. No, McNichols, he's only seen a 9 career highs. His carries, he put up 21 yards in that game. It was pathetic. He averages like 3 yards per carry when he's
receptions, and that's it.
He'll have exactly. He already was having a few. He had one game with 10 catches, so the guy's going to have some catches. But I won't play McNichols. I don't want to play AP. I'd love to see it play out. But if I'm desperate, and there's a lot of desperation this week, AP is a viable potential option. Speaking of the Titans, Julio will be in. A.J. Brown's questionable, but the latest is he's expected to play. It seemed like he was always going to play. And both those guys are potential options. I know the Rams are good defense, but they're going to need points. I think A.J. Brown especially, obviously, is locked in the lineups. Julio, on the fringe, I think he's right in my top, like, number 30 or 31. So he's potential. They're not optimistic about James Robinson. It's a gross matchup. I think you just avoid this situation. A lot of people mentioning Carlos Hyde as a viable option. I don't think so. I mean, he'll see some volume, but volume in the toughest matchup, for a gross running back, not my thing today. Target hog Beasley, who's 22 targets the last 2 games, was questionable, but likely to go is the latest that came out there. Definitely a viable play in terms of your Giants, which seems like the new thing every week. Tony will be in. Shepard will be out. I love playing Tony. Whenever he's the slot guy, he dominates. I think he has a monster game this week, filling in that slot role for Sterling
Actually,
Shepard.
James Robinson's out.
It's official. James Robinson's out.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So yeah, Carlos Hyde again. Desperation volume if you need it. Not for me. I'm not going there. And I'd rather have Jeff Wilson as an example there. I know the touches are more guaranteed for Hyde. Give me the better player and the better offense. Bateman was added to the injury report, but he's likely to go. I don't know. Is Sammy Watkins playing today?
Haven't seen anything yet.
So
I think we'll start to get news within now, like the next 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, as your guys' questions up to 55 now. Love to see it. Let's get to over 100 as we often do here. Last two notes. Dawson Knox is going to be out. So I think Tommy Sweeney is, again, a viable stream at tight end, but I'd prefer Pat Freiermuth, Newburyport boy. Ebron's going to be out again, so I think you go right back to the well with Patty Fry. That's all the news we got, folks. So now it is on to your questions. Our man BK starting us off with a super chat this morning. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. We'll pretty much guarantee we'll get through all the questions, but super chat is a great way to support us and make sure you get a good in-depth answer, and we really, really appreciate that. What's going on, BK? Let's start it off, CJ. I'm going to go for a quick walk. I'm going to give this, 1 second.
Wolf, it's very ugly. Should I play Elijah Mitchell or CMC today at running back, PPR league? I think that it depends on it. Obviously, if CMC's playing. If CMC's playing, you're gonna play him. You can't bench him.
That's what it is for me. And there's been times in the past where they've come back and said he's on a workload limit, and they already said only there's not going to be a 40-50 play day for CMC, so he is going to be on some kind of snap touch. But they've said that before in the past. Rule has said that in the past, and then fed him 30 touches in his first game back. So
they abuse running backs. even Chuba, I saw some stat that Chuba has the most touches. It's the fourth most touches in the league in the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, feed
their running back. Doesn't matter. It could be you. It could be me. It doesn't matter that he's getting fucking 25 touches.
Exactly. Given that they both have question marks on how long they're going to last, too, even more so CMC. I have McCaffrey at running back 11. I have no questions. If I own him, he's in my lineup. I don't really care what the workload questions are. Even if this would be trickier, I guess, if Eli Mitchell was, locked and loaded, same workload. But the fact that he's also potentially on a workload count, and Jeff Wilson coming back, maybe being a vulture at the goal line. There's a lot of questions for me with Eli Mitchell. There's certainly questions with CMC too, but I got to go with the number one overall pick. No doubt about it. Yeah. We got a super chat earlier as well from Mitch Chavez. Thank you so much, Mitch. We really appreciate it.
Tyreek, Justin Jefferson, Amari Cooper, and Mike Williams. Waddle sit with one of these.
I think it probably almost always would have been Waddle anyways, but especially with Jacoby Brissett now at QB, Mitch, I got to sit Waddle. Can't sit Jefferson, Hill,
that's a decent receiving
core. That's quite a receiving core, yeah. I get how annoying Williams has been, up and down a few sub-5 target games. That sucks. But I can't bench. It would have been tougher if Tua was playing, but even still, I think Waddle would have been the bench, and definitely now with Brissett, Waddle's the bench. Thanks again, though, Mitch. We really, really appreciate the support. And again, guys, that's a guaranteed way to get your question answered. We should and probably will make it through all the questions, but it does usually get to a point where I'm just rifling off answers and not able to kind of go in depth. So if you want a good in-depth analysis and you just want to support the site, then please, by all means. Or the India said he's going to start using us as a cameo where he just pays and we read something that he writes against his opponent every week. I guess it's caused some good fantasy defense and inspired his locker room. So you want to use us for that? By all means, use us for that too. Whatever. We'll read whatever you type in for a super chat. No doubt about it.
Frazier McDonald from across the pond. How we doing today? Took my first L, so I'm looking to bounce back. Do I start Javonte or Judy today, or hold up for Khalil Herbert? Or do I drop Herbert and pick up Van Jefferson and start him?
Every time I see Frazier, I just think of top of the morning. It's top of the morning, even though it's 7 p.m. there. I'd go Judy. I love Javonte, obviously, as a player. I think he's got the most 30-yard runs in the league, even though he's seen half the carries of the next closest guy. He's so talented, but Melvin Gordon continues to get the goal line work. It just remains a piece of shit, to be honest. So I'd go Judy and hope for the fact that they're going to be down against the Cowboys and they pepper him. And I think Khalil Herbert's a great name to bring up with Montgomery likely to be activated. I'm kind of off that train. Bottom 3 matchup. Herbert's been good. He's looked really solid, but a lot of his value is driven by the volume. If he even sees just 10 carries instead of the 20 he's been seeing in a tough matchup, especially if they get down early, I don't know. Everything about Herbert feels sketchy. I think I just go with Judy. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Van Jefferson versus Judy's a tough one. Hills actually has that same exact question. We were looking at her lineup earlier. I do really like Van Jefferson. Would you drop Herbert for Van Jefferson now with Montgomery coming back? I feel like Herbert has some value in case like there's a setback or anything with Montgomery.
And I think Herbert's good.
He is really good.
He's very talented. He's like I could even see them being kind of like with Nagy and the Bears. Who the hell knows? Like you could see some gross committee. Like they're not married to Montgomery, so it's like you could definitely see some weird committee there. Herbert either gets goal line touches. There's gonna be some sort of mess coming. It always is.
Nagy is always weird about that. They did say they expect Montgomery to be the main guy when he comes back. Not as early as this week, but they do want to get him some work. So yeah, I'd probably go Judy of these options. I don't think I would drop Herbert. I think there's enough long-term value there as well. BK with double super chats today. My man, you're a legend, BK. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Flex play, PPR league, Waddle, Jarvis, AP, or Claypool?
Ooh, this is a pretty good one. If Tua was playing, it would have been Waddle. It would have been a no-brainer. I love Jarvis. I go Landry too, Jarvis Landry. We just saw the Jets like dink and dunk their way down the throat of Cincy a week ago. I could see Landry having one of those patented like 10 catch, this is my team now type of games. Like no more questions. I'm back to my alpha status.
70 yards.
Exactly. 10 catches, but 70 yards, but full PPR. That's all you need. So yeah, I really like Landry today. I'm rolling him myself. I do think Claypool has some real blow up upside. I do want to highlight that matchup. The Bears are awful tackling after the catch. Just think about that Deebo Samuel catch on 3rd and 20 last week. Like they cannot tackle on screens, and Claypool has those games where he just rips through defenses. I wouldn't be shocked to see be one of those games for Claypool. He seemed to have some juice and life going last week, but he's been boom or bust all year. He's had good matchups where he hasn't come through. You just know Landry's going to have at least 7 catches today. Has the upside for 10 with Odell now gone. So I'm rolling Landry in 99% of the situations. If you were a severe underdog and you really needed the upside, I do think Claypool's ceiling is higher than these guys. And Waddle, Brissett sucks. I'd still think Waddle's definitely playable in leagues, but I really like Jarvis here. I think he's in the best spot, good floor, pretty solid ceiling, like an underrated ceiling in my opinion, at least in full PPR leagues. So BK, I'm rolling Landry at that option. You agreed with that, right, CJ?
Yeah, I'm on Jarvis here.
Awesome. All righty. Jeff Lee, legend. Good to see you, brother.
Half PPR pick 2 of these running backs: Boston Scott, McNichol, Jeff Wilson. And then he's asking receivers too, I guess. Kupp and Van Jefferson to start with Tutu Atwell, IR, Deshaun Jackson's departure in place of Justin Jefferson.
I don't know what you're saying about the receivers here, Jeff. We'll start with you got to pick 2 of these
guys. The receivers confused me a little bit, but let's pick 2 running backs to start.
Yeah, we'll start with I like Boston Scott the most of these running backs. I know he got to pick 2, but he's my favorite. I'd lock him in. He saw 15 first touches among that backfield. That suggests to me he is the main guy. They really only turned the keys over to Gainwell once they had like a 30-point lead. So I think he's the best play here. I'm going to go Wilson over McNichols. I get the receiving upside from McNichols. I think Wilson's going to step right into 8 to 10 carries today and potentially find the end zone. Roster bias, I have that. So what's that, CJ?
As I'm reading the second question a little bit, he's trying to say, would you start Van Jefferson over Justin Jefferson? That's just bananas. I would never.
Oh, no. Okay. That's making sense to me now. Yeah. So what do you think of Wilson Jr. versus McNichols? I'm very low on McNichols. So like, I'll admit I'm high on Wilson for sure. Like very, very high, too high for sure. But I would go Scott and Wilson here. What are your thoughts on like McNichols, Wilson?
I think I go McNichols and hope for 6 receptions, I guess. Like
they could get killed tonight, the Titans, and just be dinking and dumping to him. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
their
don't know. I
offense.
like the Wilson play.
I want to see what their offense is going to look like now without Henry, because they've been so reliant on him. Where who the hell knows now? And you have an ancient dinosaur running back. Like, who knows?
I think AP is going to surprise. I really don't think McNichols going to have much of a role at all. So CJ likes McNichols. Jeff, I think most experts would recommend McNichols, but I'm going Scott, and I'm such a Wilson stan. I got to go after it.
But
like 8 carries for 20 yards and nothing.
I like AP, as we talked about earlier, but you think he's just going to like roll off the couch and get like 25 touches?
Yeah, I do. I think he's going to roll off the couch and have like 20 carries tonight. And everyone's just like, AP's still fucking doing it. What the hell? This is nuts. Who better than AP to prove everybody wrong? I think he's going to be a beast. And then, no, you're not starting Van Jefferson over Justin Jefferson. I think Van is a very viable stream, so I wanted to toss him out there for folks. Most points allowed to wide receivers, the Titans. Especially like you have Kupp. You don't need a double load on that offense, and certainly not over Justin Jefferson. He's a top 5 receiver every single week. I know he's had his ups and downs every now and again, but no, you're playing Justin Jefferson. You're playing Cooper Kupp, Jeff. That would be the definition of getting a little too cute.
So Malone, better stats between Wilson and Jefferson. And then he wants to choose between Mike Williams and Tony.
Ooh, Taylor. Okay, so I think Wilson's the better stash if you're not using him. That being said, I mean, Van Jefferson of all the receivers is one of the more intriguing like stash receivers, because if something did happen to Kupp or Robert Woods, the number 2 to Matt Stafford's offense right now would be a great role. So Jefferson's more like of a usable handcuff with benefits. But you think of Wilson last year, again, 3 touchdowns in the championship week. He led the 49ers in rushing with over 600 yards and 10 TDs. 10 TDs was 10th most in the league last year for this guy, and he only played like 9 games. There's just some real upside to Wilson. They love him as a player. And yeah, as good as Mitchell's been, like, we know how quick Shanahan is to just, all right, now it's Wilson's backfield. Nobody would be shocked if that ends up being the case. So I think Wilson's the better stash myself. Do you agree with that, CJ, or are you more into Van?
Once again, you're going to talk me into Jeff Wilson.
I love it.
You'll end up just talking everyone into Jeff Wilson. We'll be 100% Roto Street Jeff Wilson guys. So I'll roll with you.
I like it. And then Williams versus Tony. I guess I got to go Williams. I know it's so boom or bust. I mean, and I do really like Tony this week. It is closer than you think, but Williams is just so hard to bench. Despite the duds, there's very few people that have 30-point upside every week, and Mike Williams is one of them. I would have a really hard time sitting him, so I'm going to go Williams over Tony. It is definitely close, but yeah, that's where I go. And guys out there, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up button, we got 40 of you watching. Only like 10 likes so far. Come on, but get those numbers up. I wouldn't beg for it if it didn't truly help us. It will get us out to more people. So thank you, Wolfpack, for being here. Keep getting those questions in, but please consider hitting that thumbs up button, especially if you're new and you haven't subbed. Consider doing that as well. We'd love to hit the 2K in these next couple weeks.
Giuseppe's ready for a nice Sunday.
Let's go, Pepe Russo. Yes, get it.
Campanelli, let's go Wolf and Silent Assassin.
Good to see our guys, the usual crew. It's always the best. Just, on Sunday, you're going to see Giuseppe, you're going to see Denny, you're going to see David. That's what's tough is, like, I know we want to abandon Facebook because we love YouTube and, like, it's just a better platform in general, but we got our original crew on Facebook. It's so tough to abandon CJ. I don't know. I can't let go of these guys.
Wait, go back to Denny. Had a question.
Oh, Denny had a question. I thought he usually just has like a good morning with a couple beers to start. So he actually has a question.
Denny's already 7 fireballs deep. Good morning. Happy beer, Devonta. Judy.
I would go Judy. I don't like Devonta Smith at all right now. And it's less about Smith. I think he's running wide open plenty of times, but Jalen Hurts just is not a good quarterback. Good fantasy player, not a good real life quarterback. I'd go Judy here. I think they're going to be down. They're going to need to throw. I don't know who Diggs is going to cover, and that does obviously play a role here.
He doesn't. I don't think he plays in the slot though. I think Judy will be fine.
No, and exactly. I think they move Judy around enough that he'll avoid Diggs for the most part. So give me Judy there. That's who I would go with.
Johnny Nottingham, yo Wolf.
What's going on, Johnny? This is the Truth Boy. Good Johnny, good time. What is up, brother? Good to see you, man. Welcome to the show. Answer Truth's question about merchandise too. He said you're being a little bitch, so don't be a little bitch, Johnny.
Giuseppe, pick a flex and a running back half PPR. Eli, Darrell Williams, Jacoby Myers, Renfro, or Boston Scott.
I would go.
I like Renfro. Renfro's my first pick out of all these.
Really? Okay, interesting. See, I get, Ruggs has some targets that he's leaving, but it was really only like 5 to 6 looks a game. It's not going to be as huge as some people think. I actually like Darrell Williams and Eli Mitchell here. I know there's the risk with Eli does scare the shit out of me this week though. So I personally would roll the dice on Darrell and Eli. Like, the Derek Gore stuff's been way overblown. He had one big drive. He scored. I was freaking out. Trust me, I only needed like 4 points from Darrell. And I was like, is this really going to happen tonight? Williams ended up playing about 70% of the snaps. He had all the receiving work. I still think you see all that coming from Darrell Williams today. So he's my favorite of the running backs. I would probably go Eli Mitchell as my next man up. But I do think Renfro has a nice floor too. If that's more so what you're looking for, there is definitely some risk with Eli Mitchell. So I get what you're saying, CJ. I do like Renfro too. That it depends on what you want to go for. The ceiling of like 100 yards on the ground with Eli, or just a nice safe floor of 60 yards, maybe a touchdown with Hunter Renfro.
Campanelli, standard with Hawkinson on the vine, tight end. I would need to cut A-Rob or Madison. Who would you drop between the two? And would you add Jared Cook? Frymouth?
I'm done with A-Rob. Cut A-Rob. Now that he didn't get traded, I've cut him everywhere I have him. So first question, cut A-Rob. You can't cut Madison in case anything happens to Cook.
And then who would you start? Would you pick up with these tight ends? Cook, Frymouth, Conklin, Arnold.
I think I go my boy Fry. He hasn't let us down yet. He continues to roll. Another good bet for a touchdown. The catches that guy makes are insane. So I'm gonna go Patty Fry there.
Evan Buss, week fucking 9.
Great to see you, brother. Let's fucking get it, Buss.
Heathrow, a longtime Wolfpack member.
It has been a long time since we've seen the Heathrow here. Crazy. Good to see you, though, brother.
Falanini, Julio goes for 140 and 2 touchdons today. Sounds like a hopeful owner. Hey, look at his picture though. We might have a Julio burner account.
Julio, a big fan of the Fantasy Fullback Dive live stream, getting his questions in before he joins. I love it. I mean, that would be like double his totals in the season. So I don't know that actually happens, but good for you. Make bold predictions. That's what we're all about here. I don't see it happening. I think you're going to get 60 yards, no touchdowns, 4 catches. That's my prediction for him. But hey, best of luck. I hope you get what you need, Falanini.
Hey, Harrison Smith's out today with COVID. Little Hollywood Brown blow up now?
Oh, he was already going to blow up, so that only helps even more. But yeah, absolutely blow up spot.
Campanelli, full PPR running back. Pick one of these. Already have Aaron Jones going. Do you go Hyde, Gaskin, J-Rob, or AP?
One second. Let me pull that back up. It's like in the way. James Robinson's not playing. So he's been already ruled out since you asked this one. Of these guys, I go Gaskin. I mean, you got the matchup against the Houston Texans, one of the bottom 5 run Ds in the league. I would go. Yeah, I go Gaskin. I think, they're going to lean on him with Brissett. I do like AP. He's kind of the one giving me pause here, but I prefer Gaskin over AP.
Kurt, Robinson is probably out. He is out. Gibson's on a bye. David Johnson didn't do anything last week. I was going to be able to pick up Boston Scott and start him. Is Eli going to lose more carries with Wilson?
I think he's going to lose some carries. I do.
I don't know what the question is there.
I think he wants us to look at Mitchell's outlook, and I do think Wilson's going to be a bigger thorn that I think people are realizing. Certainly, the report I was reading was they didn't want to have to activate Wilson. They only would if they were worried about Mitchell's status. The fact that he's activated now tells you they're pretty worried about it. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if Wilson gets a couple carries and starts rolling and Mitchell's ribs are giving him some pain and they just say, let's give you the week. Let's rest you a little bit. That could turn into a nightmare situation. He could also have 25 carries, business as usual, and nothing is wrong. It's such a up in the air situation. I probably play him if I have him and just hope for the best. But I can totally see the reservation. I mean, Scott, you at least know is going to have 12-ish or so touches. So yeah, I mean, that's such a tough to read, but I do think Jeff Wilson's going to be a much bigger nuisance than people realize. And by the end of the year, I would not be shocked if Wilson's the guy.
Giuseppe, oh, the wise bald one. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to
There
you,
he
too.
is. The wise bald one has arrived. It must have been your grand entrance.
Campanelli, 4-point touchdown league. Need a quarterback with Brady on the bye. Tua, who's out. Carr, Love, Big Ben, Taylor.
I go Derek Carr here. I think he's the safest option. Tyrod Taylor right below him. That's my QB9 with Carr, QB10 with Taylor. But I go Carr here.
Juan Pena, who for my tight end spot? Kittle or Freiermuth?
It's an interesting one with Kittle because he's on like a half snap count here. So it's tough to know exactly how to approach him. I would probably go Kittle still. He hasn't been that good though.
He kind of stinks.
Arizona's been taking tight ends out completely. You know what? I'm changing my rankings as we speak. I just bumped Kittle right below Pat Fry because I had him ahead. But Kittle hasn't been good, and he's getting the hardest matchup for tight ends. And on a half of the snaps, I'm going Freiermuth. I think he's a great bet for a touchdown this week. I'm bumping Freiermuth to my tight end 11 ahead of Jared Cook, ahead of Tyler Conklin. I'm all in on Pat Fry this week, baby.
Jeremiah Moore, oh boy, I need help this week. My whole bench is on a bye with T-Hop out. I need a streamer.
Is it official? I mean, it was trending towards out, but yeah, I would say
I assume he's out.
Yeah, we've assumed that. You need a streamer at wide receiver, it sounds like. So, let me it'd be nice to have like who's out there, but I'm trying to think like widely available guys. Let me pull up my wide receivers. I mean, Van Jefferson, I guess, is my favorite stream of the week if he's out there at 30% rostered right now. Facing Tennessee, giving up the most points. The only big play threat still there with Tutu Atwell now done for the year. Deshaun Jackson released huge into Van Jefferson this week. If he's not, I also love Rashad Bateman. So if Bateman's out there, I think he could be a huge play. We just already said Harrison Smith being out. That doesn't hurt his status at all. So Van and Rashad are out there in over half of leagues. The first type of guys I would turn to. If they're not there, who's like a deeper potential option? I don't like the matchup, but Jamal Agnew has seen the most targets in back-to-back weeks for the Jags. Buffalo is a good team, but 12 targets last week, 12 targets. He found the end zone too. They're trying to use him as their Cordarrelle Patterson. Those are some streamers in my potential radar. What about you, CJ? Do you have any like Hail Marys that you're streaming or any other names to add?
It's just Van Jefferson would be my guy, I think. But I can't really think of anyone else that's like an obvious stream besides him. So
yeah, those are my 3 Hail Marys. Would be Van Jefferson, my favorite, then Bateman. And then if you got to go deeper than that, Jamal Agnew's out there in most leagues. That's where I would go. Wolf, what's up, Brandon? Half PPR. Start 2, Mike, Will, Tony, or Waddle without Puss Tua. It's a pretty good way to put it. I would be benching Waddle here. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, I can't do the Waddle thing right now. I can't. We have a lot of Mike Williams questions today, which is kind of surprising to me. I know he has been up and down, but with
I have him in 2 leagues, and I get the questions. Like I question him, but I can't put him on my bench. I physically can't do it.
And that's what I did in one of my leagues. It was like him or DJ Moore for the first 4 or 5 weeks, and I kept flip flopping, being wrong every week.
Yeah.
And I was like,
lock him in.
At some point, you got to take the good with the bad, and it's like give you that 25 points, he might give you 6. It's like, but you just deal with it.
Exactly. All righty, let's continue on.
Giuseppe, what I have Tua.
Yeah, shock. We were shocked too. Right as we went live, Rap Sheet tweeted that out. It's like, oh shit, changed a lot for the slate.
Pringle, Damian Harris, Darrell Williams, or Gaskin. Now that Tua's out, Gaskin could be a safety option.
He could be a safety option. I would rank them the exact order you typed him in, though. I would go Damien first. Pats are, I think they're touchdown and a half favorites today. I know McCaffrey coming back might change that a little bit, but either way, the lead back in a favorite offense today. I like Damien Harris. He's been steamrolling lately, so I go him first, then Darrell, then Gaskin is exactly how I would rank them.
Giuseppe, should I go Tyrod or Simeon or Brissett?
I would go Tyrod of those guys for sure. Not even really close for me.
Apex, what's up, guys? Crazy, it's already week 9. I need you guys to help me pick one of these running backs. Damien Harris, Devonta Booker, Darrell Williams.
These are also like the best in terms of Darrell Williams and Devonta Booker. They've been some of the better streams these last couple of weeks, getting all the volume. I still have Harris above these guys, just he's better talent. He's my running back 15. Booker's right behind him at running back 16. Great matchup versus the Raiders. more receiving work coming for him. I actually think the floor is sneaky higher for Booker, but I would go Harris myself, unless it's full PPR. Oh, it is full PPR. Harris doesn't catch passes, which does, I mean, can, but it doesn't often. That makes it trickier. I think actually full PPR, I'm going to go Booker. He's seen, I think, 5 targets in every single start these last few weeks. I'm going Booker. What do you think, CJ?
This is tough. I don't know. Damian Harris has been rolling. I know it is full PPR and he only gets like 2 receptions a game, but I still like him for a touchdown. He's been good. I'm sticking with Damian Harris.
It's tough to bench him, yeah. I think I'm going to go Booker. And Darrell Williams, 6 catches last week too. It's the 3 good options, Apex. That's why you got us in a blender a little bit here. I'd go Booker. I can see why CJ would go Harris, though. But give me Booker myself. And again, guys, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up button, continue to help us grow. It would mean the world. Thank you, guys.
What do you think about Mac Jones?
I think he's obviously great real life, but fantasy-wise, I don't love playing him. I'd rather have Tyrod. Give me some rushing upside.
Juan Pena, who for my flex spot? Tony, Connor, Drake, Hyde, Frymouth.
I'd probably go Tony here. Connor would be the next one. Both solid options, but I'm worried Connor's so touchdown dependent, and if Colt McCoy is the quarterback, how many touchdown chances is he really going to have? I'll go for Tony here on this one.
John Paul McIntosh. Judy or Woods?
I would go Woods, definitely. I love Judy, love the player, but seems like he's going to need a little warm-up time. And Teddy Bridgewater kind of sucks. Like he seems to really be just shitting himself lately.
He gets figured out after a few games. He's always good for like 6
year.
Then he's done.
Every year.
Let's do it now. So I'm left without a quarterback, Carr or Tannehill.
I'm going to go Carr. I don't, the Rams matchup, tough one for Tannehill. Even though Henry being out could benefit him from a volume perspective, I also think it hurts the offense pretty big as a whole. Carr's just been nice and steady. I definitely would roll that.
Mike Less, good morning, gentlemen. CJ continuing to bring Vegas to its knees with his money prop bets. 10-1 last week.
What's that?
10-1 last Sunday.
Pretty damn good. Did you? I know you said you're at another person's house right now. Are you? Did you get some up today or not yet?
I have it. I'm looking into it as we talk right now. But there's, I don't know. Not last week. I was feeling hot, and I'm not sure if I'm feeling hot.
Yeah, you crushed it with 10-1. But yeah, we'll see what you got. So you don't have props, or you do have props for this week?
I do it as we talk usually, because then you give me little thoughts in my brain, and then I'll put it up.
There we go. Okay, I like it.
Well, I'm pending. Should I drop or trade Dawson Knox since Kittle's back, or should I keep both of these?
There's no reason to force it. I have Kelsey and Knox, and I'm definitely hanging on to Knox. Although if you get a good offer, there's no reason not to trade him either. I would probably actually be shopping around Kittle, though. I think the name value is a little bit higher. You might be able to get more, even though I think Knox has actual more value.
Good times, full PPR. Which of these 3 are you benching? Beasley, Boyd, Judy.
Boyd. I hate Boyd. Always have, always will. He's such a piece of dirt. Give me Boyd on the bench there.
Mad Money, who am I filling in for my massive running back loss? This trifectorito? Jeff Wilson.
Derrick Henry.
Jeff Wilson, Herbert, or Dark Core?
Oh, God. Pretty ugly. Herbert should be the smash answer. I think I'd probably go Herbert if these were my options. But I think down the road, it's going to probably be Jeff Wilson. I'm going to get guys, that thumbs up button helps us get out to more people. It does seem like the mailbag continues to grow today. So if you want a guaranteed answer, that super chat will go right to you first. Give you a good in-depth answer. We should be able to get through everybody, but it's a good way to support the site if you're looking for a way to do it. We get asked that a lot. How can I help out? Super chat, toss us we'll give you a good in-depth answer, or we'll read whatever you want if you want us to talk trash your opponent, any of that good stuff.
Eric Underwood, Tony or Renfro in the flex?
I'm going Tony. I know you're big into Renfro, but I love Tony. I think he's the
full PPR. I'm going Renfro, eight receptions for 75 yards.
All right. I like that prediction. You got to hit some props on him for sure then. I'm into Tony, though. I think the upside's huge. Whenever Shepard's out and he takes that slot roll over, he's a beast. I'm going Tony.
Jeremiah Moore with 2 out. Who do I stream? Love, Baker, Tyrod, Darnold. Every quarterback.
Every potential streamer. I'm going Tyrod here. He's my top 10 quarterback this week. One of my favorite potential options. Give me Tyrod all day there.
Ben Thompson, what's up, fellas? Chilly weather, but CJ still looking hot as ever. I agree with that. Devonta Smith and Carlos Hyde in the flex.
Oh, Ben, that's not hot. CJ is, I agree, but not that question's pretty ugly. I don't like Smith. I'm probably gonna go Hyde and just hope he falls his ass in the end zone. I don't like that though. I don't like either option, to be honest.
Giuseppe again, Tony or T Higgins?
Tony for me. I'm big into Tony. T's close though. That's a really close one.
Giuseppe again, Ertz or Dan Arnold?
Ertz. Ertz fits into that. I mean, it's going to be different without Kyler, but I think Ertz is still solid.
Who's their backup again?
Colt McCoy.
Oh shit! I thought they had like a random like small school quarterback as their backup, didn't they? Or maybe it was last year. I forgot.
They might have. They used to have Huntley. I think was their backup for a while.
I thought they had like a weird like spread offense, like 1AA kid. But anyways, Shade 721, Mitchell, Higgins, or Bateman in the flex.
I'd probably stick it out with Mitchell, especially in standard. Like the PPR stuff doesn't really matter. Higgins is close though. I mean, this guy's seeing a ton of targets each and every week. Higgins versus Tony. I know we just had that one too. I don't want to backpedal, but that's a tough one for me, Giuseppe. Tony versus T. I think I might actually go with T on that one. Their secondary, the Browns, is pretty damn bad. I could see T having a big rebound week.
I'm gonna go the expected fantasy points, darling, T Higgins.
Seriously, the amount of work he gets is crazy. So I'm going to go Higgins for both of these. I think Higgins is going to have a good week this week, finding the end zone.
Fatty Mateo, happy Sunday, boys. Need a full PPR flex. Beasley, Drake, Kirk.
Full PPR, you got to roll Beasley. Good to see you, Mateo. 22 targets these last couple weeks. In 2 weeks, that's awesome. Now he gets the Jags. Another 8-catch day coming for Beasley.
Giuseppe, Renfro or Claypool?
I like Claypool. I know, again, CJ's all in on Renfro. I get it. I just don't know that his role is going to be all that much change.
No, I don't think that. I just think he's like a safe, like 12 to 15 points.
Right. He is.
But I don't really calculate. Like I don't think the rugs thing might even hurt him because it's like there's no like safety over the safeties are going to kind of focus on him now.
Yeah.
It's not like I just think he's just safe. He's like an Edelman type where it was like 10 to 12 points, whatever.
I think he has that double digit in like all but one game. I mean, yeah, he is safe. I just love Claypool's blow up upside. That Bears team, like I was saying in the earlier answer, they cannot tackle to save their life. I think Claypool's going to have a pretty big Monday night.
909s, Tyrod or Fields?
Oh, it's Tyrod for me. And I know 909, you're the curse of the QBs usually. So I don't want you to curse Tyrod because I'm using him in a lot of leagues. But the last time we linked up on the quarterback, who was it? Tua. He had 4 touchdowns. So you know what? Let's link up again, baby. Go Tyrod.
Rob Marino needs some love today. Going with love since Tua is out and league mate already snagged Tyrod while I sat there and thought Taysom was the play. Also managed to have Wilson from moving San Francisco in last year.
Yeah, I think Wilson, great stash again to anybody out there, even potentially playable today if you're in a bad running back hole. And I'm going love today too, Moreno. We're in the same boat. I wanted to have Tyrod. He ultimately got taken. I'm stacking up my boys Adams and J Love and hoping for the best. Let's go, Jordan. I'm with you. Let's get some love, baby.
Trey, Tyrod or Fields?
Tyrod for sure for me. And you were leaning Tyrod. I think you continue to lean right on into that.
Juan Pena, should I keep Amari Cooper in my receiver 2 spot? He has a hamstring. He always has these weird. He's always on the injury report, but he's always fine.
Yeah, he's going to play. He had, 29 points last week. Pretty good floor, too. I think Cooper is definitely locked in. It depends on who your other option is, I guess, but ultimately I would definitely roll with Cooper.
William Giadotis, start Sutton, Renfro, or Bateman at the flex.
I'd go Sutton. I know it was ugly last week, but the air yards, most air yards in the league, they're going to need some points against the Cowboys. I go Sutton. Oh, we already answered that super chat. Thank you again, BK, though. There's a reminder out there. If you want to support the site, toss us a super chat. We'll make sure to give you a good in-depth answer. We both said CMC, though, with question marks around both running backs. Go with the absolute stallion for sure.
J-Rob, Van Jefferson or Tony at receiver 2?
Oh, I'm going Tony. I love Tony. I think he's a great play. Anytime he's the slot there for Shepard, you go Tony.
Kurt, I have Mitchell and Wilson, so I don't know who to start. Mitchell's done very well. I feel like Wilson should be a change of pace back, so Mitchell can't play enough. I don't know, though.
I imagine Mitchell has the job unless he falters, but he does have the rib issue, so that is scary. He's definitely the safer play over Wilson today, though. We haven't seen Wilson in months, So, yeah, I would go Mitchell over Wilson.
Eduardo, Eli Mitchell, or Boston Scott?
These are tough questions because, again, it's like I do have a pretty bad feeling in my gut about Mitchell, like just getting like 5 carries and being rested. I don't know. I don't feel great about Mitchell today. I do think there's a higher floor with Scott, but obviously the ceiling with Mitchell is so much higher. He's been great every single game he's made it through. Coming off 130 in a TD, like this shouldn't be a question. It is, and it's a very, very valid question. I probably roll Eli Mitchell, though. I have him RB19, Scott 23.
I'm rolling Eli today in 2 leagues. I'm there with you.
Fire him on up.
Jair, Jefferson, Lamb, Higgins, pick 2 of those. First
Mention
2.
Higgins. I know I told a lot of people to play Higgins, but Jefferson and Lamb are like routine top 12 for me. Higgins is usually like top 25, but not quite on the level of those 2 guys.
Well, Pena, you think Jarvis Landry gets a ton of receptions since OBJ is gone? Yes.
Sure do. In a super chat we answered earlier, we mentioned that I think Landry could catch 10 balls today. I absolutely love him. I think he's a great play. So, yeah, I think he's going to be – he averages 15 points per game without OBJ – or just under. It's like 14.7. So, very close to 15 points, whereas it's 9 points when OBJ is in the lineup. So, big difference. I think it's going to really help him out.
Sarah Raleigh, half PPR, start 2 of these: Waddle, Claypool, Herbert, Sanders, or Judy.
I would go it's tough to go back to the Sanders but I have to. Against the Jags, I know he had the goose egg last week, but he had a nice floor until then. I'm going right back to it. I'm going to go Sanders and Claypool here and just roll the dice on 2 big upside booms, Sarah. What are your thoughts, CJ? Those are some tough options.
2 of those, I think I'm going Judy, and I don't know, Sanders scarred me last week with you. You talked me into him in my DK lineup. He was my goose egg.
Oh, he killed me in DK. I had great lineups too. Oh,
I think I'm going Judy Claypool.
All righty, we'll see. I'm going Sanders, Claypool, back to the well.
Daniel Holland, pick 2 of these: Bateman, Van Jefferson, Boyd, full PPR.
I would go Van and Bateman and bench Boyd. I know he had a good week last week. Boyd is very rarely the guy I'm going to go with.
Juan Pena, go Pats. You think we're scoring a ton on Gilmore? No. He's going to get a fucking interception, I'll tell you that much.
I think he's going to pick us, but I do think we're going to score plenty of points. Maybe not on Gilmore, but I think we're going to we'll be fine, and we'll beat these Panthers teams. It's going to be a good game, though. It's going to be a fun one.
Matthew Noto, thoughts on Bateman and Zay Jones this week? I'm in deep league, need some fillers.
I really like Bateman. I would much prefer him to Zay. I'm sure a deep league, that means probably no Van Jefferson out there. I would much prefer him to Zay and Bateman. But Bateman, I really like. We already talked about Harrison Smith's out. Not that really matters. We're already giving up the 6th most points to receivers. I think Bateman, Hollywood Jones both have some solid days here. Zay, I mean, he does seem to pop every now and again. And without Ruggs, he might end up being okay. But I'm not into that. If you're really desperate, I guess. But, like, again, I'd probably prefer, like, Agnew in deep leagues, only 5 or 6% rostered. I would go to Agnew first. I might try to take a stab at, whether it's Russell Gage or Tajay Sharp, it might be. He's kind of emerged as, like, the lead guy. I'd say one of those 2 guys I prefer.
Tunes, always spreading the love, like and share.
Hell yeah, Wolfpack. As always, if you can get those numbers up, helps us get out to more people. That thumbs up button, we wouldn't ask for it if it didn't help us as much as it does. Continue to grow it. Get those questions on in, but consider giving us that thumbs up button and helping the pack continue to grow.
Travis Mason, happy Sunday, my dudes. Half PPR, need 1 running back and a flex. Boston Scott, AP, Wilson, Bateman. Thank you.
I think the best running back is Scott for sure. And then it comes tricky. I would probably, in half PPR, I would probably go I think I'm going to go Bateman here. I like AP, but I prefer Bateman. What do you think of those other 3 options?
Yeah, I'd probably go Bateman, I guess. All these running backs kind of gross to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd probably go Bateman, and then I'll roll with your AP, I think.
I like Scott myself. Am I nuts if I go Jeff Wilson over Javonte? Javonte just doesn't get the work. It's pissing me off. And I'm kind of
I don't think it's not going to change. It's going to be one of those, like, rookies that Melvin Gordon's going to get hurt in, like, week 14, and Javonte Williams to go like 150 the rest of the season, but it's too late.
I know. I hope not. I hope it happens sooner. Not that I've never wished an injury upon someone, but just a week or two to let Javonte take over for full time. I think I'm going to go Wilson over Javonte today. I don't know. Maybe I'm a psycho, but I like to go on. I like to live and die on the hills. You know, if I'm recommending Wilson to people, I'll go in and do it as myself. So I'll go Boston Scott Bateman here, though, myself.
Yeah,
I'm playing Bateman in a lot of leagues. What did you think Scott and Bateman's okay then?
Yeah.
All right.
Jeremy Taylor, happy PPR pick 2 of these. Tony, Sutton, Judy, Julio, AP.
Some intriguing options here, Taylor. I go the first two, Tony and Sutton.
Even after Julio checked in and said he was going for 150 and 2
I know. Tuned into the show live with us here. But no, Tony's my favorite here, and Sutton not too far behind. I do think this is a good rebound spot for him. Oh, we got that super chat, the double super chat from BK. But just to remind you, we said Jarvis was our favorite here, even though we like all these options, especially full PPR. We think Jarvis has a great floor and ceiling today.
Mike Clay, Javonte, or Freeman?
I'd go Javonte there. That's where the talent does win out. Wilson versus Javonte is a little bit trickier for me.
Mike Clay, Bateman, Ayuk, or AD?
I would go – oh, fuck, I just lost my place. Bateman, Ayuk, AD. Ayuk is a little more intriguing this week given the Debo issues. I still would go Bateman here, though. I like Bateman a little bit more than AD. Unless it's just standard league, then AD with the touchdown upside makes sense. But I kind of like Bateman today. I really think he's going to come out for a big one. There was I don't know if you saw, but a Ravens writer kind of copied the Hardit's helicopter tweet. And he had like just dropping down to say Bateman for like 102 TDs or something like that. Like, all right, let's go. I'm putting him in. Let's hope this guy's correct. We'll see.
Oh, we need a little confirmation.
Yeah.
Great job as always, boys. Wilson smoked you in the playoffs last year. Never forget that either. That's what you're talking about.
Exactly. Yep. So whether you faced him or whether you had him, we all know Jeff Wilson in the championship week. He has that upside. He has to be rostered right now. Again, only 30% rostered. Go out and get him. Whether you play him today or not, you got to have this guy on your team for the stretch run. And we've already talked about CJ, their playoff schedule. I just want to keep reiterating this to people. The Texans, the Titans, and it's one other horrible team. Who else is it? It's the Texans, Titans.
Like NFC West garbage.
Maybe the Jags. I forget. It's somebody else. That's like one of the cream puff matchups of all cream. It's 3 straight cream puffs, though. So Wilson could do some real damage down the stretch.
Mike Clay, Ayuk, or Van Jefferson?
I would go.
I kind of like Ayuk, but Debo's kind of banged up. Well, he's getting no target. Let's see how it is.
I am bumping Ayuk in my rankings. The more we talk about him, I'm liking him. I still prefer Van, though. I really like Van Jefferson today. He's one of my favorite streams. I have him at 31, and I'm bumping Ayuk to.
I dropped Ayuk.
Devonta Smith.
Ayuk's kind of better, but I wasted like a 5th round pick on him, and now I dropped him. But
you can't drop him at this point.
I had
him
and A-Rob are just eating me away, and I had to drop one of them.
You can get rid of A-Rob. I fucking hate A-Rob. He's done. But I like Ayuk. I think he could have a rebound down the stretch. He played a season high in snaps, saw a 25% target share last week. Definitely a good rebound spot for him to continue to climb, especially with Debo now dinged up. If Debo sat, it would definitely be Ayuk. And you can actually wait this one out because Van doesn't play until tonight. If Debo's active and like there's no reports that he's going to be severely limited, then I do think you go Van. I really, really like Van tonight. One of my favorite streams this week.
Well, Jaguar is Trey Lance everyone to start this year, 2 QB league, and he keeps taking up a bench spot.
It's tough. 2 QB leagues too. I've said, right from the start, my brother's in 2 QB leagues. A lot of them limit you to only 3 quarterbacks. It's too much roster space in a 2 QB league where you can play matchups better and whatnot. If you have 3 QBs that are actually starting, Trey is a lot harder to hang on to in leagues like that have those roster limits. So yeah, I don't know that you have to hang on to him anymore, Bill. I do think he's going to start, and I do think he's going to do really well when he does. But I think it is too much bench space for right now.
Tunes, Taylor and Patterson, my running back locks. Well, Taylor already played. CD locked in a receiver 1 and a receiver 2 and a flex out of Higgins, Booker, Marvin Jones, Bateman, or Jeff Wilson.
I would say you lock in the flex. I like Booker the most. I know you ask him pretty much every week, and every week I say Booker tunes. I don't think he's disappointed you yet. He's had like 12 to 15 pretty steadily. So I locked that in. And then at the wide receiver spot, I like Higgins more than these other guys.
Yeah,
that's where you're leaning. Yeah. So exactly where you lean is where I lean to. Let's lean right into it, Kyle.
McNichols, Connor, or Dylan, pick 2 of those half PPR.
I'd bench McNichols. I'm just not a McNichols guy. I do think Dylan could see some more work with no Rodgers. We saw last week with no Adams, Dylan. They kind of started to lean on the run game and split Jones out a little bit more. I think we see more of that this week. And then Connor's my favorite of these guys. Bigger risk if Murray doesn't play. It seems like he's not gonna. But then at the same time, it's like Murray runs in so many touchdowns. Maybe it even helps Connor if they just get into the red zone a couple more times. He could. I think Connor and Dylan are the plays here. I'm just not into McNichols. Maybe I could be dead wrong about that. He could be a league winner.
Yeah, I want to wait on this like running back situation in Tennessee.
For the Titans, yeah. If I'm going for a running back for the Titans, it's AP for the touchdown. So I'm going to go Connor and Dylan here for these guys.
Tom sick, Jeff Wilson or Devonta Smith?
I'm really off Devonta this week. He's just in general, but the Chargers, one of the hardest matchups for receivers, second fewest points allowed. And he's had under 7 points, I think, in 3 or 4 straight. I'm not going there. Wilson's a tough sell, though. I don't know. I think I'm going to go Wilson and just hope for the touchdown. I really feel Wilson's going to come in with a TD this week. I don't know. Shanahan loves this guy. He's going to feed him. I have a weird feeling about it.
Pat Sullivan need 2 of these and a half-point PPR. Sanders, Julio, Van Jefferson, and Bateman.
I like Sanders the most. And then I think I like Van more than Julio and Bateman.
Tunes, Darrell Williams, Ayuk, Javonte Williams, Bateman or Van Jefferson in the flex.
Yeah, I agree with your pick, Darrell Williams. I'd confirm your pick there. Van Jefferson's close, but I would go Darrell there.
Joe Garrity, PPR pick 2 of these, Landry, Beasley, Judy, Moss.
Pretty good options here. I like Landry, especially full PPR. Beasley versus Judy's a tricky one. I think I go Bees. Go for the PPR machines there and Beasley Landry. Moss has some pretty good touchdown upside against the Jags too. Beasley Landry for me though. Yeah, that's where I lean. Henry or Fry. I go. I kind of want to go my guy Fry here. I don't know. Hunter Henry's a great bet for a weekly touchdown too though. He's I think scored in 4 of the last 5. I'll go Hunter Henry. He's been really good with Mac Jones. You lean there too?
Yeah.
All righty.
Tom sick. Did you see that Stafford's wife basically is Cooper Kupp's female doppelganger? No wonder there's connection there.
I have not seen that, but I could see why you would love him there. But no, that's great. I have to look that up. We got a super chat coming in from Omar. Greatly appreciate it, Omar. Thank you so much for supporting the site. Let's get to this one for you.
Yo, fellas, I need 2 between Tony, Jacoby, Melvin Gordon, full PPR. FYI, Sammy is out for the Bateman questions.
Oh, even better. I'm glad so it's official that he's out. Good news for Bateman owners. Definitely a boost to his target total today. Of this one, so we got 2 of Tony, Jacoby, and Melvin Gordon, full PPR. I think I lean the receivers. I think Tony's definitely my favorite. I'd lock him in first. The Broncos' backfield just so annoying and such a mess, and Dallas is much better against the run than they are the pass. If they get down early, maybe that helps Melvin because he's more of the pass catching back and protection and all that. But I don't know. I like, especially full PPR. I think Jacoby.
Yeah, I was leaning 2 receivers with you.
Yeah, 2 receivers, Omar. We'll lock it in. Both those guys have good high receiving upside, especially when Tony takes over the slot. So let's lock in those receivers for the full PPR upside there. Good luck, Omar. Thank you again so much for supporting the site. We really appreciate it. Let me just find my spot. We were at the doppelganger with Ben, so here we go.
Tunes, Boyd, Julio, Marvin Jones, Bateman, Mike Davis. Pick 2 of those. And Gore.
Frank Gore's son here. I like Bateman and probably Julio. Marvin Jones is sketching me out. Toughest matchup for wide receivers, and the fact that Agnew's seeing more looks. I'll go Julio and I'll go Bateman. What do you think of that? Am I too off on Boyd?
You are off on him, but here in this situation, he's a clear either 3rd or 4th. He's probably the 4th best.
Yeah.
I will with you there.
All righty. Oh, we got another super chat from Charlie. Let me pump on down to here. Thank you so much. A nice $10 super chat. So generous. We really appreciate the support.
Charlie says long overdue super chat. Just asked one question this week. Trade didn't go through, so I already need to drop one of OBJ and Tony for a kicker. We're dropping both to add Jeff Wilson too. Have Lamb, Godwin, Woods ahead of them.
Oh man, that's a great question, Charlie. Are you needy at run or at so one, I would probably drop OBJ over Tony. It's so hard to know without knowing where he goes, and like, oh man, I don't know. There's no one else on your bench you can drop.
The thing though is that you can drop them and you can go get them back in waivers if you want.
Maybe, but he'll be low. You know, we don't know the waiver order, what your fab is. I don't think you drop them both to add in Jeff Wilson. And I love Jeff Wilson. This is coming from one of the biggest fans of Jeff Wilson ever. I think Tony is awesome. I think he's going to remind us of that this week. If Tony comes out and sucks this week, then you could maybe go drop him for whichever one you didn't pick up. I would drop OBJ before Tony, I think, though. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that rest of the season, OBJ versus Tony?
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Burning the house down.
That's our fire alarm.
No, but it's mine.
Oh, that's yours?
Yeah. Paul's burning the house down right now.
Nice.
I personally, I would drop OBJ, and then I would kind of see, like, we don't know who he's going to. He could go to the Jags. Like, who the hell knows? So it's like, yeah, he wants to be a contender, and if you want him that bad to be like your wide receiver 4 or 5, then try to get him next week. But I'd be okay with him. I don't think he's going to change leagues this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. Since you have such 3 good receivers ahead of both of these guys, if your running back situation is crap, I do think there's real upside to Jeff Wilson. So this is a team-based question in the sense of if you have those 3 guys, but you have awful running backs with those 3 stud receivers, I could see dropping both of these guys. If I'm dropping one, it would be OBJ just because we don't know where he's going to go. What if people are just like, he's not even worth the headache? I don't think that's going to happen, but I would love to see what Tony does this week before I drop him and send him packing. I think he's going to kill it. So Charlie, I know we're kind of going all over the place for this one. I would drop
OBJ.
I would drop OBJ. And if your running backs are really, really bad, then you can consider dropping them both because I do think Wilson has huge stretch run upside. But I would personally keep Tony myself. All right, let me find where we left off. It was Tunes, so we were at Thomas from Panama.
Sheesh. Buenos dias, Lobo. Full PPR, 6 Pepes, 16 Pepes. Tight end Higbee or Albert O, and then McNichols or Rashad Bateman for the flex.
I'm going to go Higbee. I know Fant is out, so that does help out Albert. But I think that's getting cute. Higbee's just, he hasn't been great, but in every down role in that offense with plenty of goal line upside, I do think Higbee's got a good shot at touchdown every single week, even though we haven't seen it in a while. I'd go Higbee, though. I go Bateman for the flex, definitely. I love Bateman this week. I think this is where he kind of comes into his own. I'm really looking forward to this week.
I already picked 2 of these, Gaskin, Herbert, Darrell Williams, and Mitchell.
I would go Gaskin, Darrell. I think that's probably the safest bet. Mitchell's, I don't know, Mitchell versus Gaskin. That is tricky. Gaskin's definitely safer because you're going to get like 12 to 20, anywhere between there in terms of carries and touches. Whereas Mitchell, we just don't know what's going to happen yet. Yeah, I'm going to go Gaskin. I'm going to go Darrell Williams here and just play it safe. I'm nervous. I'm getting nervous about the situation here. And I'm bumping down Khalil below Boston Scott. All righty. Just updating the rankings there to reflect what I feel. All righty, here we go.
Deontay Harris, Van Jefferson, Jeff Wilson. Pick one of those. Pick a flex and a receiver, actually.
So Van, I'll lock in at the wide receiver spot. And then the flex. I think we wait this one out, Tunes, because I wouldn't play Harris at 1. Let's not use that bullet. Let's wait it out and see. Like, is Eli Mitchell, what if Eli Mitchell doesn't play? Jeff Wilson's a smash spot. If Deebo Samuel doesn't play, Ayuk's a smash spot. We can wait this one out and see what the news is. You have my phone number, Tunes. You can shoot me a text if you get like down to the wire and kind of see how your matchup's going. I think gun to my head, I actually pick Wilson. I think he's finding the end zone today. I don't know. I just have that feeling in my gut. I'm playing him over Javonte. We're going to see what happens, baby. But this is one you can kind of wait and gather the news and see like who's in, who's out, what the reports are, what your score's at, all that stuff. But Van Jefferson, either way, is my favorite option of all these. DJ Johnson need the floor, Carr or Love? Oh, it's definitely Carr. And you know that. Come on, DJ. If you need the floor, Love has no floor. We have no idea what he's going to be. Definitely has a good ceiling in a matchup against the Chiefs, second most points to QBs. But Carr, every week, 300 yards, a couple touchdowns. He's about as high floor as it gets, DJ. So, yeah.
Jeremy Taylor, half PPR, Eli, Tony, Darrell Williams.
I would go I like Tony probably the most, but I think Darrell Williams is pretty steady. Like, again, one of those hedgy sounding answers. I'm going to avoid Eli Mitchell here. As good as he's been, I'm worried about that. Tony would be your ceiling play. You need like a 20-point day. He's got some real upside, but Darrell Williams, such a sure bet for like 15 touches, probably 7 catches, anywhere between 4 and 7 catches. The safest option is definitely Darrell. And most chances, I'm going to probably go Darrell here, but I do like the Tony upside play if you need it.
Tunes, Conklin, Arnold, Albert O, or Higbee.
I like Higbee still. If it comes down to this type of crap, it's just like go with the best player and the best offense.
Lawrence Franklin, what's up?
What up, Franklin or Lawrence? Good to see you. Welcome to the
Sebastian Alex, Derek Gore, Bateman, Galladay at the second flex spot. Have 3 on a bye and injuries.
I keep
you like
going
Galladay?
Bateman, baby.
You didn't talk about Galladay today. Do you like him? I mean, when he does play, he's good. He's just like the biggest flake in the history of the NFL.
He is questionable. I think he's going to play though, right? He's locked in the lineup today.
Yeah.
I think Tony's the guy there. I guess it does change Tony's outlook a little bit. We haven't seen those.
Galladay's last full healthy game, didn't he have like 10 for like 150 or something nuts? He's good when he plays. He's a fucking pussy. He's just like the biggest like fucking magician. Where he's like, oh, my hamstring hurts. I'm out for 10 weeks.
That's what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't play. I think Galladay's the ultimate like. I'm back. Wait, sorry. Nope. I pull my hamstring first play. Now I'm off again. Like I go Bateman here. I feel
his paychecks and
exactly.
I kind of respect it, honestly.
I go Bateman here. I'm really into Bateman this week. I hope I'm not wrong, but I really feel good about Bateman this week.
Holland, Hurts or Tannehill?
I gotta keep going. Hurts. It's the bridge is gonna crash at some right under him because he is a fourth quarter machine, and there's gonna be a game where he doesn't get the fourth quarter. He gets benched for Gardner. Could be as early as this week against the Chargers, but they'll need points. I think he's going to run all over him. I think Hurts is going to have a 100-yard rushing day, so I'm going to go him.
Fatty Mateo, better stash in full PPR. I'm a Cordero owner. Mike Davis or Wilson?
Oh, Jeff Wilson, 100%. What's Mike Davis? It's fucking useless is what Mike Davis is. Give me Jeff Wilson. Let's see if we get that back.
Lawrence Franklin, would you start Scott, Nichols, Montgomery, Wilson? McNichols.
I would probably go Boston Scott here. The safest bet for like 12 to 15 touches, a good matchup for running backs. I think Scott finds the end zone again this week, so give me Boston Scott there.
Kurt, D. Johnson, Mitchell, Wilson, AP, or pick up Carlos Hyde for the day?
Who's D? Is that David Johnson? Hopefully not him. Not him. I would probably go Mitchell here of these options. None of them seem great. So give me Mitchell. Just hope that he's healthy and see what happens.
Derek Barbosa, fix the flex, standard league, Boston Scott, Darrell Williams, Kyle Pitts. I go Pitts here.
Yeah, you probably just go Pitts, right? He did disappear though. The coverage getting rolled his way did not work out well. I like Darrell Williams here. Just go for the touchdown upside of him. I'm nervous about Pitts. He had those 20-point days and then disappeared completely with no Ridley. Who do they face? They face the Saints. Yeah, that's a tough defense. I'm going to go Darrell Williams.
St. Jennings, if I need be, I would move you. I'd move you over to YouTube. Late game for Philly. Drinking starts at 1:00.
Late Denny.
I let Denny be blacked out by now.
Yeah, damn it, Denny. You're going soft on us here. Get it cracked. I'll crack one if you do, Denny. Tell us in the comments. I'll put one right back with you if you do.
Shamir Khan, Drake, Jerry Judy, or Hardman.
I'd go Jerry Judy myself. I don't like Hardman. It's too risky. And Drake's been pretty damn good, but there's a lot of time either like Jacobs missed the whole game or half the game. I'm going to go Jerry Judy here.
Shamir Khan, I have Melvin Gordon as my RB2. Should you start Drake, Judy, or Hardman? Actually,
we just answered that one, yeah.
Paul keeps burning down the house. Denny
Jones. For a sec, CJ, so that goes off.
it's gone.
right.
Danny Jennings, Gainwell will probably be the man today because you can't trust Dickhead Sirianni.
You really can't. Exactly. As soon as we tell you to play Boston Scott, Gainwell will see 25 touches today.
Campanelli, full PPR, Gaskin or Wilson?
I would go Gaskin. Nice, safe, good matchup. They probably need to lean on him with Brissett now at QB.
No Malcolm Brown.
Yeah. As we get to that quarter mark, 15, 12, 15, please consider giving us this thumbs up if you haven't already. We got about 40 of you viewing, not nearly enough thumbs up to match that. So keep giving that thumbs up button, helping us get out to more people. Shares, retweets, heart buttons, all that good stuff. Get us on up there, Wolfpack. We really appreciate it. And thanks again so much for being here. Keep getting those questions. And we're well over the 100 question mark at this point. We love it. You want a guaranteed answer as well. We just want to remind you that super chat function over on YouTube will get you up on our radar faster and guarantee you that we give you a good in-depth answer too.
Campanelli, defense, Dolphins or Raiders?
Probably the Raiders.
Dolphins defense stinks.
They're just so bad. Exactly. And I think Tyrod's a legit QB, at least compared to Davis Mills. Like Davis Mills would have made them a potential streamer, the Dolphins. But yeah, I got to go Raiders here now.
Jeremiah Moore, Callaway or Bateman?
I'm going to go Bateman, baby. I really think this is a good Bateman week. I'm smashing him, I guess. I've said Bateman almost every question we've gotten about him. I guess this is the Bateman week.
So also give me some league details there.
Okay, yeah. I think Bateman has big play touchdowns. No worries, Kurt. I see your apology, but it's all good. You don't have to. You're always here, so it's all good.
Definitely. Thank you, boys. Jeff Wilson and Jefferson it is. Thank you so much.
All righty, Jeff. Good luck. Wilson is not safe. I know I'm saying it's Jeff Wilson week, and I love it. Like I can't wait for it, but it's not safe. It's not like the surefire option by any means, but I love it. I'm rolling it. Let's go, baby.
Campanelli, pick a quarterback. Mac Jones, Fields, or Baker? Gross.
Ooh, there's no Jordan Love, no Tyrod Taylor at that point, I'm assuming. So if these guys, I think I just roll Mac Jones. He's been pretty hot lately. If Baker without OBJ.
I used to like COVID, I'd be good with Fields, but now that he's back on the sidelines calling plays, can't do it.
I don't exactly. When Nagy's back, I want nothing to do with Fields. I'll go Mac Jones here. I do think Baker without OBJ, again, weirdly like way better. And I do think that game has some upside, but I'm still avoiding that situation. So yeah, give me Mac Jones here. I have him at QB 18, Baker at QB 21. And I'm not touching Fields with Nagy back.
Russell Kaiser, full PPR, flex, Galladay or Bateman?
Bateman, baby. I'm can't trust Galladay. I really think Bateman's gonna have a nice one today.
Fusion V, flex, PPR, pick one of these: Wilson, Herbert, Marvin Jones.
Probably go Herbert here. They're going to ease in Montgomery. He's going to play. He's going to get some work. But I do think we still see 15-ish touches go to Herbert. A tough matchup, but I have a tough time. That's a good enough way to wait it out for Wilson and Marvin Jones.
Is Ingram a start?
Maybe. You got to have pretty bad options, in my opinion. I'd rather have like Tyler Sweeney or Pat Fry, who are out there in more leagues.
Omar, Carlos Hyde with no J-Rob or A.J. Dillon?
I'm glad to see CJ get his identity. Yeah, he exists. You can see that he's a real human still. Hyde's the volume, but Buffalo's a really hard matchup. Then again, AJ Dillon, I'd probably go Hyde here. You're going to see 15 to 20 touches. He's going to caught 8 of 11. He's got 9 targets, I think it was last week. He's going to see some work. I'll go there. I'll go Carlos Hyde. It's gross, but that's where I go.
Apex, full PPR, flex, Kirk, Javonte Williams, or Brian Edwards?
I'm going to go Kirk here. I know no Kyler could hurt this offense, but Colt McCoy he's a better backup than a lot of situations. I don't trust Javonte yet.
He has to lock on to someone without Hopkins. So.
Yeah, he might have that second team for a while. They played together type of thing. You never know. Exactly. And no Hopkins, even more upside for Kirk to be a potential target hog today.
Adrian, Zach Moss or Tony in the flex?
I go Tony, I think. I do. I mean, Moss against the Jags, you're going to get he's been kind of a high floor, very low ceiling option all year. Zach Moss has 12 points, 15 points, 9. He hasn't really busted much, but he doesn't break out much either. I think Tony has 20-point upside. So I lean Tony here, but it is the Jags is a good spot for Moss. Maybe this is the day he does get 2 touchdowns and gets 20 points. I'm going to go Moss here. I think Moss is just a safer
I was thinking Moss.
Yeah, the way I talk, the more I talk,
touchdown is, especially with Knox out, we'll see some more red zone looks, and
he did see 6 targets just 2 weeks ago too, so he has some receiving upside. The Jags is such a soft matchup. Yeah, go Zach Moss. It's safer.
Shamir, flex, Happy Bear, Hardman, or Judy?
I go Judy there. I prefer Jerry Judy. He looked fine on this game back. He didn't see a ton of volume, but they didn't need to throw. They're going to need to throw against the Cowboys.
Jake Egger, Bateman, or Jeff Wilson on flex?
I prefer Bateman myself. I'm excited for Jeff Wilson week, but I like Bateman just a little bit more.
Nick Williams, Ertz, or Kittle?
I prefer Ertz. I'm nervous about Kittle. Toughest matchup for tight ends. Only half the snaps. I like to wait that one out and see how he does.
AJ Evans, AJ Brown, Thielen, or Brandon Cooks?
I mean, I love them all. I got to go AJ Brown the way he's been rolling lately, though. A tough matchup against the Rams, sure, but I mean, that's tough that you have to only one of these guys. Like, brutal.
Jeremy Taylor, Tyrod, or DJ?
I like Tyrod today. I think Tyrod has a huge week. Oh, so we're sitting one of these one for AJ. Yeah. Well, now that gets trickier because I do even like Cooks a bit more with. But how do you sit Thielen? A touchdown a week type of guy. I would probably end up having to sit Cooks here. It's close, but I would go. He's the riskiest to just fizzle out, in my opinion. What do you think?
I think I'd sit Thielen. I feel like he's like an every other week guy. He had a nice week last week. AJ Brown's locked in, and then I love Thielen, but I think I'm gonna.
Oh, we'll see. All right.
I can see like a 12 target game for Cooks.
It could be. I mean, he does have like a 40% target share in like all but 2 weeks or something crazy like that. I sit Cooks personally, but it is close. That's a good question there.
Andres, hey guys, Damian Harris or Sutton? Happy Bear.
I'd go Harris. I'd keep rolling Harris. He's been on a roll lately.
Daniel Holland, Tyrod, or Dimes?
Oh, we just got that one from Jeremy as well. I go Tyrod though. I prefer Tyrod.
Daniel Holland, Van Jefferson, or Boyd?
Big into the Van Jefferson train today, and I'm never on the Boyd Express. So yeah, give me Van.
She done. What's up, guys? Who to play? PPR? Mitchell, Pollard, Javonte Williams. Worry about those ribs.
I'm worried about the ribs with Mitchell too, but if those are your other options, you just go for it. She done. Especially if you can have Jeff Wilson in case there's like ever a injury and Mitchell's sat and you have Wilson just sitting there waiting it for him. I would go with Mitchell here.
Shamir Khan, Drake, Jerry, or Hardman in the flex?
CJ, get your head in the game over there. Distracted.
No, I'm getting a low battery, so now I need to move into a different room.
Gotcha. All righty, I'll take over for a little bit. Why don't you get yourself fixed up? Drake, Jerry, or Hardman? We already answered. Shamir, you've asked this question a million times. Please stop asking your question. We've answered that one already. We can't put people on Facebook in timeout for some reason, but
not the truth grows.
We have the truth, baby.
Eli, Darrell Williams, T. Higgins, CMC. Sit one of those. I don't think CMC is a scarecrow.
Hey, running backs are different, truth, than scarecrow receivers drawing defensive attention, all that. But you put a running back in there, you're just like gonna put him in there but not give them carries. You got to play CMC. I'm rolling him out. There's questions with Eli Mitchell, Darrell Williams. What if Frank Gore's grandson takes over? I do like T. Higgins this week, but I got to go CMC. If you have CMC, you've been waiting this long. Is it official that he's active? Like, did we see an official report yet?
I haven't gotten one like tweet alert, but any actors are acting active. I feel like it's just like it is what it is at this point.
Yeah, do you want to search like just to make sure?
Usually, I'll get like the Schefter alerts. I haven't seen one like alert today, and it's already 12:30. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, he tweeted his stuff out as usual, like 4 a.m. dump last night. The last I saw was the Tua news. I haven't really seen anything come out since then. So if we get any word, I think CMC is official at this point. Like it would have come out and been big news had he not. So yeah, I go CMC. Long answer short. If I have CMC, I'm rolling him out. He might get 30 touches and have 30, and he's on your bench. You'd be kicking yourself. So yeah, you got to go CMC here.
Giuseppe, sorry I missed it earlier. Claypool or Renfro? Happy Bear.
I preferred Claypool. CJ preferred Renfro. But yeah, I love Claypool this week. Awful secondary there.
Spoons, I have the Bengals D versus the Browns. Stick with them or stream 49ers.
I would go 49ers with potentially no Kyler
So I'm
Murray.
gonna, that like huge Survivor League that I'm in. That's like
Yeah.
$50,000 to the winner. Should I go with 49ers this week?
I don't know, because they could still lose even with Kyler not there. I think that's a risk. I get the logic. Like, when else are you going to ever use him? But like, I wouldn't myself. You didn't use him week 1 against Detroit?
No, and I'm still feeling good right now. I have who do I have today? I have like a big favorite going today, and it's like it might be Buffalo actually, but I feel like I kind of want
to stay alive. Use Buffalo, stay alive. I don't think the 49ers are even close to a lock. So no, I wouldn't do that. No.
No, Pringle, any reason to be worried about Debo being questionable? ESPN says 49ers are uncertain about how long he'll be able to play. Cooper be my replacement. That's a great replacement.
It's a great replacement. The issue is the 49ers play at 4. So Cooper would have to lock in. I don't know if you can put like Debo at a flex and have an option for later, but I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, with the sketchiness around Samuel, do you just play Cooper because he's such a good option?
I'd roll Cooper myself.
I think Debo is good enough to be waiting it out for. How do I have Diggs way too low? Hold on. I got to bump Diggs up. I didn't realize I had him that low. I am going to bump Debo below like Deontay and AJ Brown and guys that I absolutely love. But I think Cooper, it's just not good enough of an edge, in my opinion, to go there. I would wait it out for Debo as long as you have a backup plan. Is Ayuk out there in your league? That would be a good backup plan.
Russ Kaiser drop Zach Moss for Jeff Wilson? No.
I mean, I love Wilson, but I don't think I could do this. Zach Moss has been pretty solid, right? When you say at this point, like, what do you mean? Like, Zach Moss has been better than anybody would expect, right? Am I missing something? I feel like Zach Moss has been pretty damn solid.
Kurt Goddard versus the Chargers or Andrews versus the Vikings?
Oh, it's Andrews. I know the matchup's tough, but come on. Andrews is the number 1 tight end in points per game right now. I do like the matchup. I mean, Chargers is, I think, the 3rd best matchup for Goddard, but Andrews is a guy you just don't worry about matchups with. The number 1 tight end in fantasy football right now, points per game. You got to roll that out.
DJ Johnson, flex half PPR, Herbert or Scott?
I prefer Scott. I mean, I know both of them are kind of committees and questionable, but a tough Steelers matchup. Like, who knows how involved Montgomery's going to be in his first game back. We know Scott, first 15 touches last week. He's got 5 goal line looks in the last 2 weeks. Like, he's a smaller guy that they just let, like, kind of squeeze behind the lineman when they get in close. I like Boston Scott in a good running back matchup today.
Tarlo, hey guys, love the show. Come on every week. I have a three-part question. Tight end, Dan Arnold's Albert O or Freiermuth?
I would go.
I think I would Freiermuth there.
Yeah, I go Freiermuth over those other options. And then I go Tony over the receivers. And then pick 3, Edmonds, Mitchell, McNichols, Peterson, Herbert. I think Edmonds is my favorite. I'd go Mitchell if those are the other options. And then I go probably Herbert over AP and McNichols. I just kind of see what happens with that backfield.
DJ Johnson picked 2 of these, Julio, Brian Edwards, Patrick, or Callaway.
I don't like any of these, DJ. Jeez. I go Julio's probably my favorite. Maybe you just go for the big play with Edwards, I guess, or I don't know. It's like all shit from there. Like, who the fuck do you want to go with? Like, I don't know. I think Julio's the best option, and then I think maybe you hope for a deep touchdown from Brian Edwards. That's what I would do. I don't know. What do you think, CJ? Do you have a strong leaning on any of these?
Kind of a strong lead on this. I'm the same boat as you. It's like,
how could you add? Like, I don't know. I don't feel strong about any of those guys. Like Brian
no,
Edwards.
One of them will probably score a touchdown, but you just like kind of like flip the fucking coin and figure it out.
Exactly.
I'll go over Brian Edwards. Let's do our last year's like clicks machine that we have.
I go Julio, Brian Edwards. Yeah.
Steven Hernandez, Mike Will, or Judy?
Got to be Mike. You got to keep rolling Mike. I know a couple duds. It's scary, but the 30-point upside is just you can't bench it.
Diego, full PPR, pick flex one of these, AP, Marvin Jones, or do I pick up Jeff Wilson?
I would go AP over Marvin Jones, but I also would drop Marvin Jones for Jeff Wilson to have him on the bench the rest of the year.
Steve Hernandez, Terrell Williams, Booker, and McNichols.
I would go not McNichols here. I would probably go Booker. I really like Booker today against a soft Raiders run D. Tons of volume coming his way. Thank you again, Omar, for the super chat. Just reiterating, guys, if you want a guaranteed answer as we get closer here, 12:30, we have about 15 minutes left before we got to sign off and do our own lineups. So you want a good in-depth answer in these last 15 minutes or so, that's super chat, or you just want to support the boys. That's another way to do it. So yeah, I would and the thumbs up button as well. One other way to support the boys, free way to support us, help us get out to more people. Hit that thumbs up button.
Giuseppe, Renfro, Mitchell, or Scott at PPR?
Giuseppe, you repeating questions over here? You ask your questions, then leave, and then come back and ask them again? Fucking little shit, Giuseppe. I know what you're up to. No, you're a legend. We can let it slide this time. I would probably just play it safe and go Renfro over the two running backs.
Steve Hernandez, Higbee, or Henry?
I would go Hunter Henry, I think, here.
Mike Clay, Kirk, Agnew, Freeman. Full people.
I kind of like going Christian Kirk with no DeAndre Hopkins. He could end up being the number one guy. We'll see.
Xavier, hey guys, need one for the flex. Claypool, Booker, Julio.
I love Booker. I really think Booker's just a nice, steady, great option. That's where I would be leaning. Oh, we got a super chat from Omar. Let me pull that on up here. Thank you so much again, Omar. We really appreciate the support.
Galladay or Ayuk, full PPR?
I think I'm going to go Ayuk there. I got to make sure I have Galladay in the rankings because I don't know if I've added him back yet. I haven't. So let me add him in, and I'll see where he goes. But I think you go Ayuk coming off, again, season high in snaps, season high in target share, 25%. It's a pretty good Arizona defense, and I don't know how much shootout upside we're going to have here. But I just don't know that I trust Galladay first game back. He's like the classic in for a drive, hamstring flares up. You don't see him again for 5 weeks. I do have him coming in at wide receiver. I'll put him right ahead of Agnew. So I have Galladay at 40, Ayuk at 36. I think Ayuk's trending the right way. I could see his season kind of turning around here, Omar. So yeah, I'm leaning Ayuk over Galladay myself. What about you, CJay?
Yeah, I'm going Ayuk. I do feel like it's starting to happen. Sucks for people like me that dropped him and didn't believe in him, but I think it's starting to happen.
It's happening, baby. He's turning it around, especially too with the Debo news that could be limited or potentially even out. I think you wait it out either way. I think Ayuk's the better play.
Charlie Menakis thinks fellas, my situation for sure was leaning Odell.
Well, we're leaning the same way. It would obviously suck if he goes to I keep saying it's like if he goes to the Chiefs. Like the Chiefs are like a great passing offense. They fucking suck too. So who knows?
Green Bay. I want Green Bay.
Green Bay would be the perfect spot. But yeah, I think you drop him, see where he lands, and go make a stab at him, trying to get him back if it's somewhere worthwhile.
Barbeck, what do you think of Devonta Freeman's matchup today?
Vikings are a decent defense against the run, and it's just such a gross, three-headed nightmare type of backfield. I'm not messing around with it myself.
Jared Brugler, Gage, or Deontay Harris?
Ew. I'm going to go Gage and hope he rebounds from that ugly, ugly effort, but I'll go Gage there. You're welcome, Tomas. Thank you for being here, brother, from Panama.
Tunes already texted you this one, but drop Carlos Hyde or MVS with MVS came off
they
the
both suck. Drop them fucking both. That's your answer. But I think MVS. He's like, MVS handcuff Adams. No, he's not a handcuff. I don't think you need to have any of these guys on your team, but I would drop MVS personally. What do you think?
I mean, Carlos Hyde is going to be useful for 1 week.
They're both useless. Drop them both tunes. Don't even. There's no debate here. They're both crap.
This is should I drop my last bench spot? It really does. They're never going to play either of them. So unless you're not using Hyde this week, you're never going to start him.
Yeah, if you don't use Hyde when he's the actual starter, you're never going to use him. To me, Hyde would if this thing lingers with James Robinson or he gets further aggravated or something, maybe in the right matchup could have some value. You're never playing MVS. Even if Adams got hurt, you probably wouldn't play MVS. So I think MVS is by far the worst here. They both suck though. Take out the garbage either way. They're both useless.
Josh Howard, Singletary, Cobb in the flex.
Oh boy, there's Carlos Hyde. You could use him there. This is ugly. I would probably go. I don't know, full PPR. Howard, maybe you go for Cobb and just hope he hauls and builds off last week.
Howard getting his typical 12 carries, 30 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, and Chargers again, they are far more susceptible to the run. Oh man, I full PPR. It's not Singletary. Like, why do we get questions about Singletary? I know every now and again he'll rip one big touchdown, but like he is bad for 10 out of the 11 weeks, and he'll have one good week. I'll never trust him. I don't hate him. My gut when I first read it was like Howard, maybe he gets a touchdown. Cobb, because the PPR settings is like my head, but I think it's Howard. I think you just
with everyone, with all the receivers back in Green Bay, Rodgers out.
Yeah, you're gonna hope for the touchdown from Howard. That's kind of where I would lean.
DJ, half PPR, Higbee or Kittle.
It's so exactly how you say it here, DJ. Best defense versus tight ends. Isaiah Simmons is just an absolute monster. And it's half the snaps against the best defense. Like, I don't want that. I'll go for Higbee and just hope he finds the end zone.
Tunes, drop Tua for Jeff Wilson.
Yeah. You have Herbert. Why would you need Tua? Like, there's no, especially when you don't want that. That sends your locker room a message here too, right? This guy has a little finger injury and he can't play. He can't sack it up. Get off my roster. Give me the Jeff Wilson machine, baby. He walks right in here. As the 49ers running back coach said, this is a guy that injects a shoulder pump into your whole team because he plays with such physicality. Your locker room will respect you, Tunes. Great move.
Skate Town, Donovan Peoples-Jones or Van Jefferson?
I do actually think Peoples-Jones is like intriguing now with no OBJ. But I love Van this week, and I love Van rest of season too. He is the clear number 3 in this offense. So even in just that role, as in the clear deep guy too in this offense, that's a great role for Stafford's offense. But if something ever happens to either of the two, he also has that type of like handcuff with benefits type upside. I love Van, and especially this week against the Titans, big play machine defense, just surrendering tons of them. I go Van Jefferson, best matchup for receivers.
Denny's already down 1.
Well, I will be right back. I can't tell you, promise Denny a beer and then not come through. We'll pull up the next question now.
Eric Gomez, Zach Moss is a start or no? I mean, it obviously depends on your running backs, but I do like Zach Moss this week. Probably will stumble in for a touchdown. If there's no other options, I could definitely go Zach Moss.
All righty. I'm going to start late. I mean, like I said, I'm coming off a wedding, so it's hard to get right back. I was drinking like IPAs all night, and you know how that hangover is. It's like pure fog and haze. So I'll do a little seltzer action, and I'll chug it for you, Denny. Get the gears going again. But so okay, let me just get a Zach Moss start. I mean, against the Jags, definitely very viable as a potential, as you say down here, Eric. Flex Mitchell or T Higgins. I'll go T. I'm nervous. It sucks because Mitchell looks so damn good. What did he have last week? CJay, like 140 and a touchdown. I mean, the guy was a monster. Mm-hmm. It sucks that he's even in the questions right now, but that Schefter report is so sketchy. Like, he's going to play, but they don't know how long they're going to play him for. Like, what the fuck does that mean? I don't want to figure that out.
Because that never means anything.
I don't know.
Oh, like they never know how long it's going to play. It's just they have a regular workload usually. But.
I know. It usually amounts to nothing, but with Shanahan and then Jeff Wilson being activated and like all the reports are, they didn't want to activate Wilson, but now they're worried about Mitchell. It just all feels so sketchy. And like, what if Mitchell just doesn't play? Like he might, there is the risk he doesn't play today. And I like Higgins. I think Higgins is in a really good spot. I think that Cleveland game is going to be a sneaky potential shootout there. So I'm into it.
Great show, guys. Cheers.
Oh, I promised Denny I'd pound this. So yeah, I want to be a man of my world. Let's I'll chug this while you start this one off for me, and then I'll pull this.
AK said one of these full PPR: Keenan, CeeDee Lamb, or AJ Brown. Sheesh.
Start it off, CJ.
I'm locking in AJ Brown. Keenan Allen kind of disappointed me last week. I thought he would have went off against Patriots. I'm probably going to sit him again, then I'll go CeeDee and AJ Brown.
That is not going down smoothly at all. Holy shit. It is gone. It's freezing cold, though. Now my teeth hurt. You got to sit one of these. I'm not, like you just said, I think I heard you say you're not sitting AJ Brown. I'm not either. I think it's Keenan. It sucks because Keenan's so good, especially in PPR, but the Eagles are limiting receivers to, I think, the third or fourth fewest. And CeeDee's just too damn good to bench. Is that what you said too?
Yeah. I was. Kurt, come on, thumbs up, guys. These guys are helping us all out. A thumbs up.
I love our hype guys. You guys are the best. Thank you, Kurt. We're here to help you. And a simple ask: thumbs up helps us get out to more people. So if we're helping you out, please consider doing that. Super chat, an even better way to help us out. But yeah, thumbs up is nothing. That's all we're asking.
All right, Gomez, get your popcorn ready for them Cowboys.
They should smash the Broncos. Our boy Ochoa, one of my favorite interviews we have every year. Did you see his tweet? Yeah. It was so the last time the Braves won the World Series, the Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
Last so it was like 96 or something. Yeah.
And then before that, the last time the Bucks won the NBA title, the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. Both of those teams won this year. Cowboys actually do look legit. I don't know if history is just a weird repeating circle and cyclone. Maybe it's the Cowboys. I'd be throwing a little bit on a future Super Bowl for the Cowboys. They look good. I really like
odds too. I'm guessing they're probably around like 1,400. I'd assume.
Yeah, I think you could get some good odds on that. CJ, let's throw something on that later.
I'll be done with that. Michael Reyes, Tyrod or Bridgewater?
Tyrod for sure. I love Tyrod this week. One of my favorite streamers. Top 10 QB for me.
Shade, standard scoring, Higgins or Woods?
Pretty close there. I like Woods though. Titans are the easiest possible matchup. I'm going to go with that.
Campanelli just announced AP as the lead back. AP or Gaskin?
We've been saying that that's our expectation. I've been saying that this whole time that AP is going to be the lead back and see 15, 20 carries. So glad to see that it's actually officially announced. I still prefer Gaskin though. Soft matchup. Houston, they're going to need to run. I'm there.
Jeremy Taylor or drop Pollard for Jeff Wilson?
I don't think you can. Pollard's one of the highest possible upside stashes. I do still think, who else do you have that you could potentially drop? But Pollard is very, very hard to drop.
Face going Tua over Carson is backfiring.
Yeah, Carson Wentz. He asked that one on Thursday. But, how do we know Tua was going to be a little bitch and not play with his finger? You got to assume that the guy has a sack, and I guess not. So
he's currently going Teddy. But should he go Love or Mac Jones over Teddy?
You need floor.
I go with Teddy then. Teddy's a floor guy.
Kind of. Yeah, floor. And Teddy just sucks and gets you 12 and he's going to get you 12.
Mac Jones is a complete question mark. And then Love is a complete question mark. Then Mac Jones is maybe a touchdown or two. I
think Mac is actually the safest floor here. Teddy is going to need to throw because they are facing Dallas. I have Love the highest. And it's I get you want to prioritize floor. I don't see, against Kansas City with those weapons, how bad could he actually be? He'd have to throw 4 picks and get benched. And could it happen? Sure, that could happen. But I think with those weapons against that bad of a defense, I just roll Love. It's more exciting. It's more upside. The floor might not be high, but this is a situation the floor of Bridgewater and Matt Jones, it's nothing. I don't know. I'm going Love. I'm going Love face.
Sleepy refresh, Waddle, Higgins, Tony, or Damian Harris?
Man, a lot of good options here. I'm leaning Damian Harris here, unless it's full PPR, in which case I'd probably go Tony versus Higgins is tough too. I'd probably go T. Higgins there though. If Damian Harrison standard or half.
Mike Clay seems he's active. He shoots fantasy life. No, we're not Matthew Berry guys. Cole Pierce, is Kai guy playing?
Probably Kyler is what I'm guessing. And so far, it seems to be trending the wrong way. So it doesn't seem it, but Tua is not playing. So we do know Tua's not in, so don't do that, no. Tyrod Taylor, my favorite replacement plan that's out there in most leagues. And if he's gone, I like Jordan Love. Jordan Love also gets you to the 4 o'clock game, too, if you wanted to wait it out for Murray. He's kind of that type of option, but I would probably just roll Tyrod myself.
Tim Patrick or Deontay Harris?
Patrick for me. He seems to always have that good rapport, and he still led the team in receiving even with Judy back. So that's what I go for.
Ward Wilson, Connor, Devonta Smith in the flex.
I go Connor. Just hope for the touchdown.
Piffle, what's good?
How did the election go, by the way, Ward? I know he was up and running for something. So good luck. I hope you took it down. What up, Piffle? Good to see you, Jason.
No idea what he's talking about.
What's that, Papa?
He started responding to his own question. I don't remember what he said.
Yeah. What's going on, baby? Good to see you. Start Jarvis Landry or Bateman, non-PPR. That's tricky. Because it's non-PPR, I still go Landry though. I think he could easily find the end zone, even though his upside's significantly higher in PPR. I do think you go Landry over Bateman.
Wolf and CJay half PPR in a matchup that got nuked by Jonathan Taylor. Need season-long points. Choose two of these: Van, Devonta Smith, Bateman, Pollard, Devonta, Eli Mitchell.
Yeah, so you got nuked. That's not fun. I think you got to go for the big plays here. I think you go for Van.
Van's definitely number one.
I like Van for the huge play upside. And then I think you just go Eli. It's either Eli or Bateman for me. But I think you just, especially if you need points, you just hope that Eli's fine and you just let it rip and see what happens.
Tony Samaj, do I drop McNichols for a defense? I have Landry, Gibson, Chuba rostered, and Booker, but I'm most likely starting Booker in the flex.
Yeah, I wouldn't drop any of Landry, Gibson, or Chuba. So if like your first man on the chopping block is McNichols, then absolutely you can drop him for a defense, especially with news that AP is the lead back. Yeah.
Danny Jennings is now 3 in. I love it.
Oh, good stuff. 3 in. Oh, man, I'll do one at the end of the show for you, Denny, but I got to keep answering the questions for now.
Sanders or Kirk?
I'll go Sanders. I really like Sanders today. I know last week was scary, but I'm still going to go Sanders.
Diego, full PPR, Bateman or Van?
Van for me. I love two of my favorite streams of the week, but I go Van over Bateman. Kurt liked the chug apparently, or whatever. I don't know. He's laughing at me like something.
Gibbons, Callaway, Mooney, or Herbert in the flex?
Spite Shits showed back up. He's less aggressive today though, at least. I think I gotta go Herbert. Like, even if Montgomery plays, Mooney. How could you trust Mooney? And Callaway sucks. So I'm gonna go Herbert here.
Fatty Mateo, Wolfie shot on Mike Davis because he had double-digit PPR points in 6 out of 7 games. You don't think he's a must-cuff?
I don't know. Has he actually had that many good? The only reason I played Mike Davis like twice this year, he had like 8 points and a half, and then he had 1. I'm just like, fuck this guy. I cut him everywhere after he had the 1 point. I don't know. Maybe he's okay, but I want nothing to do with him now. Must cuff in this gross-ass offense. No thanks. Josh,
Hollywood or Robert Woods?
I would go. I'm talking about handcuffs are only valuable. I have to go back to Fatty, but handcuffs are valuable. I'd much rather have Sony Michel on my team than Mike Davis. Even though Mike Davis might be a little more usable, should something happen to Henderson, you got an RB1 now. Something happens to Cordarrelle, you have pretty much exactly what Davis is with maybe a handful more of like 3.0 yards per carry. Yay. Like that's not a must handcuff. The handcuff, you want the situations of Madison, of Sony Michel, these guys that would actually be very viable. Mark Ingram now, who's out there in a ton of leagues, way more valuable than Mike Davis, in my opinion, if something happens to Kamara. All righty.
Josh, Hollywood or
50, huh? I'm gonna have to go rapid fire in a sec, but yeah.
Hollywood, Robert Woods.
I would go Hollywood all day. I love Hollywood. Top 12 for me this week. He's had 19 or more in every game but 2. In one of those games, he should have had 35, just a couple of drop touchdowns. Hollywood's going to smash. All righty, guys. I'm going to go rapid fire mode real quick. You want an in-depth answer, hit that super chat, or you just want to support the site. Would mean the world. But we're going to rip through these as fast as we can just to get them all before we log off here. Zafrika, what up, homie? I go Tony over Kirk, even with him out. I just don't – I love Tony, and I don't know if I trust what's the name? Colt McCoy. Gaskin, Booker, McNichols, pick 2. Get rid of McNichols, no doubt about it. Easy get rid of. If Debo's inactive, I move Ayuk in the lineup. Would you flex Mitchell or Van Jefferson? I still would go Mitchell as long as that gives you the option, Mike. You've had this a good setup here where you can wait and see. Is Mitchell on a snap count? Is he good to go, looking great, and going to get his normal workload? Like, if that's the case, obviously you smash him. If not, then you just play Van. So you can I'm worried with you. I am worried. Saw a report, Glazer said they don't expect him to play. I don't either. Everything seems very pessimistic, Omar, but thank you for adding on. Kirk Cousins or Tannehill, both playing great defenses. I'd go for Tannehill here in a potential shootout. I know you're loving Booker, but you do Hollywood or definitely Hollywood. I love Hollywood, Allison. So him over Booker for sure. Tony or Waddle, half PPR. I go Tony, especially with Jacoby Brissett now playing. Murray or Hopkins, we don't know.
LeBron James just tuned in.
Yeah, LeBron James. Yeah, big RSJ fan, LeBron James. It doesn't seem like either of them are playing though. It's trending towards both of them being out. CeeDee Lamb's playing, right? Is he officially active? I think he was.
Is he 4 o'clock?
No, he's at 1 o'clock.
I haven't seen anything that's different.
If he was out, we probably would know by now. Brian Edwards, Darrell Williams, Sanders, or Zach Moss. I'd go Darrell Williams, probably the highest floor here, followed by Zach Moss. Sebastian, flex Mixon with bad Oh yeah, it's always Mixon. No, you're not playing Gaskin over Mixon. Come on. Brissett, Love, Bridgewater, and Cleveland's not that bad of a matchup either way. I go Love, and Love lets you wait it out to Kyler too. But I like Love anyways more than these options. LaVisca or Rondale Moore? Ew, neither. Play Agnew or some crap. LaVisca sucks. It's like you said, Kyler and D-Hop out. Like maybe that gets actually Rondale, like some Colt McCoy, like second team love. I could see that. Go Rondale. Oh, if those are your two options, but I don't love either. Julio, E. Sanders or Gordon flex. I would go E. Sanders. I love Sanders today. I know he sucked, but I'm going E. Sanders. Debo or B. Cooks? You got to go Debo. It's assuming he's playing. Big risk because we don't know 100%, but it's tough to bench B. Cooks.
This would be the worst question I've ever seen in my entire life.
Kelsey or Conklin? Yeah, come on, Oscar. Are you shitting me? I don't even want to gratify the answer, but it's obviously Kelsey. Glad you won, Ward Willis. That's awesome. You're welcome for asking, but I'm glad to hear it. Thank you for always being here, brother. Bateman or Tony? I'm going Tony. I do love Bateman, but I'm going Tony there. Starting, yeah, even though you have two Giants, those are two Giants I think are going to do all the heavy lifting. Debo or Higgins? I'm going Debo. I'm going to let it rip. I have AP. Especially the one thing with Debo, if Ayuk's out there, go get him just in case there's word that Debo's going to be out or limited. It's good to back him up and have a backup plan. Van Jefferson, an even better backup plan as well. AP, start him over Herbert. I actually think I would do AP over Herbert at this point with the confirmation that AB is going to, in fact, be the lead back. We were expecting that, but to have the team say it, I think helps out even more. Start Hyde or Gordon. You just go for Gordon. Hope he has the touchdowns. I don't trust Hyde ever. Late to the party. Hoping for a breakup for Bateman. I'm with you. Off the bench. He's in my lineup today, so I'm hoping he crushes it. No Watkins. It could absolutely happen. Eli Mitchell is iffy. Or Tony or Hyde. I think I would go for Tony there. Omar. I love Tony today. Bateman or Nichols. Probably McNichols is the question there, and I would go Bateman over McNichols if that's what you're meaning. Drop Peterson. Petasaurus, the dinosaur for you, CJ. For Madison, I mean, Madison's one of the most upside stashes in the world, but I'd rather have Peterson in most rosters because I do think he could actually be usable. Dallas or New England, I kind of like New England. Who's Dallas facing? Actually, Dallas gets Denver in that crap offense. I'd go Dallas. Never mind Sebastian. Go Dallas at home. Mitchell, Gaskin, Darrell Williams, K. Herbert, pick 2. I would go Gaskin and Darrell Williams, FC Jr. Goddard or Kittle. I'd go Goddard in a smash play over Kittle. Kittle half the snaps in a bad matchup. No, thank you. Conklin is against the worst defense against tight end. Yeah, Oscar trying to. It's always Kelsey. You can't judge if testify this. I'm sorry. Don't even try, Oscar. I get it. I get how bad Baltimore is. The best possible matchup, but come on, Conklin or Kelsey. Oscar, I wish I could slap you through the screen. And Higgins or Devonta Booker for me. I really think Booker is a great play. Alrighty, Wolfpack. 12:24. We gotta go check our own lineups. So
my options are fucked. I'm probably benching my entire starting lineup at this point.
Yeah, right. I'm all over the place. Best of luck, though, guys. Thank you again so much. On your way out, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. Please do consider liking and subscribing if you haven't already to help us grow. We want to get to 2K subscribes on YouTube within the next month. Would be awesome. Best of luck, guys. Good luck to you, Piffle. Great to see you, man. And cheers. See you later, CJ. Best of luck to you, too. All righty. World full of fancy sheep. Be the wolf, guys. Later.